Hello, and welcome back in, you guys, to another Par Vision collaboration. This time, we're here to break down Chapter 1167 and hit you guys with mega super ultimate theories in the process.
Is that the title of the... Is this going to be the title of the video?
Oh, yeah, you know it. That's like the title of every video.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate super theory that you've never heard of before. The hidden details of God Valley, the secrets of the world revealed to us by Oda himself. Yeah, just take your pick.
Yeah, whichever one.
Yeah,
vote in the comment section, and the title will be yours.
Yeah, and hey, I'm not even joking, guys. If you have like a title suggestion, just drop it in the comments, and I might adapt it in the next week's podcast.
Yeah, that's actually awesome engagement.
Oh yeah. I mean, but how many people will actually participate? Like, usually whenever I ask a question in the comment section, there could be like 1,000 views and maybe like 2 people will respond. I'm like, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think 5. I think 5 people do comment about title.
Yeah.
Suggestion.
Which isn't a lot, but I mean, I think it makes sense because like whenever a YouTuber is like, hey, let me know, guys, blah, 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 down below. I don't always do that. So it's like, yeah, it's fair. Just kind of go about your day.
You're supposed to do it every once in a while, but you don't have to
once
do it
in a
every
while.
time.
If it resonates with you. So we got Nojiko and Genzo, some of our favorite characters, here with a cat who is stealing a fish encyclopedia book. And this bookstore owner, let me tell you, he's getting hit with robbery pretty often. Like Nami stole a book and now the cat's stealing a book. He can't really catch a break. And even before this, he had Arlong, who was over here taxing his ass to death. At what point does the shop owner say enough is enough? And it just whips out like a shoddy.
Oh. Well, I don't know if guns are legal here.
In Kokoyashi Village, they should be. I mean, you saw what happened to Arlong. He just came by and just took over the whole town. Yeah,
but they didn't resist. They brought like forks and knives. Because they're going to eat them. Yeah, no, not Arlong, the citizens of the
and
town.
Look at how that turned out for them. They got cooked. They're the ones who got eaten.
Yeah. I was wondering, and because this is the main question that I was going to ask you on stream, but the chapter dropped a little bit later, and also our schedule is a little off.
Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah. We were the turkeys this week for sure.
Yeah.
It was that we don't have any like canon. No one's ever eaten a fishman before. No one's ever tried.
Outside of Agenda Piece, no.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like, I would imagine like one celestial dragon has tried, right? Like,
I like to imagine.
Do you think you could tell by looking? Do you think like if we lined up all the
no, like, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be like a Wendigo situation or like the cannibals in a cave situation where somebody eats a person and then you can just instantly tell, like, oh my god, they're deforming. I feel like that's just like an old wives' tale people used to say back in the day to prevent cannibalism.
Well,
I don't think it's real.
Well, cannibalism does carry. There is it's called prions, I think. So mad cow disease, brain, right? It can be anything, but the brain is, I think, like the main, like the brain mad cow disease was. Mad cow disease was specifically the brain, but I don't think it's specific to brain. It's just like a protein that is like folded weirdly, and you can't make medicine to prevent that because it's just a protein. So like there's no way for us to filter that really, including our own body.
And guys,
so that's why
Par is speaking from experience.
Yeah. I was the one who broke the mad cow disease epidemic. The farmer who decided to, he was cutting corners and fed his own cows, his own other cows' body parts. That was a rough time. That was a rough time for human history.
Yeah, I remember when that was a big meme back in the day. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Just like, oh, mad cow disease, mad cow disease.
Yeah, it was terrifying, but it was also like very easy to prevent. Just don't feed animals themselves. Like it's kind of like, but it's also one of those things like, is it a problem? And it's like, yeah, maybe the what's it called? The instinct to not eat like your own kind was right there.
And this came up because you were wondering if anybody's ever eaten a fishman in the series before.
Yeah. I forget when I thought about that when I was reading the chapter, but I'm pretty sure it was like at the very beginning. I was like, I wonder. And then I was
That
like,
is a good
who
question.
has the answer? Is Sai.
Yes, Sai would know. Maybe we go back to the Void Century and that's happened before. I just don't know if Oda will tackle cannibalism. I mean, we had the Kumate tribe and that's pretty much it. But nobody likes those guys anyways. 100. Yeah.
First 100 chapters, guys. That was it.
Kumate
Buggy.
tribe.
That was Buggy related.
They were
gonna
unsuccessful though.
Yeah, they were. They beat Buggy though. And then they were confused because he was already chopped into pieces and they're like, huh? But yeah. But on the cover story. Did Buggy beat them?
Yeah, Buggy and Alvida beat them. It's Buggy's crew that got whooped. Yeah.
Okay. I thought I remembered him being tied up.
I think they had his limbs.
Yeah.
They had his limbs, like but when Buggy showed up, he beat them, and then he got his limbs back. Him and Alvida absolutely destroyed these guys.
What? Because when he met Gaimon, he didn't have his his middle parts.
He was missing his parts. Hands, yeah.
He didn't have his elbows and knees. He didn't have those. So then he matched Gaimon. They got together, and then I guess the Kumate tribe had his elbows and knees.
Yeah, he met Alvida, and then they both went to the Kumate tribe to save his crew.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn. I think that's like in the 70s, chapter 70.
Which they were successful in some forms of cannibalism because the cage that Buggy's crew was being held in was made of bones from their previous victims.
Yeah, and those guys definitely. I mean, Sai hates them, so like clearly they're the.
Yeah, I don't like the Kumate.
They deteriorated. Tribe. Yeah, as the old wives' tale goes.
It's not even about the whole cannibalism thing. I just wish they were more advanced. Like, I don't know if anybody here plays Fallout, but there's like a whole white glove society that does cannibalism, and I helped them. I helped those guys, and it's like, oh yeah, they're like upper echelon. They had like a little casino. I was like, yeah, dude, let's do it, man. But the Kumate tribe, like, they just got leaves and sticks. It's like, no, dude, like, come on. So for Nochiko and Genzo, when is the next time that you think we're gonna see them in the story? If you had to like put a number to it, like 50 chapters, 60, 100, it doesn't have to be like a big thing, just like a panel. What do you think?
Where are we in Elbaf? Maybe. You know what? There is an opportunity based off of this chapter, actually, that we might get a zoom out of the world before we get back into the Elbaf thing to see what happens at the Red Line, or at Merijois. And so once we get that info, like if Morgan's is posting that, then I would imagine we get another run through of like people's reactions. So maybe it could be 10 chapters, honestly. I could see us looking at like a Morgan's posting of the thing. We did get that in Egghead, like midway through. It was just like a zoom out to what Morgan's is seeing and then a post from him. Though that was related to the Straw Hats. There was like I think there was like a two-pronged thing, right? Because there's also the Reverie. So we also got that junction from the Sabo flashback. So
okay.
Maybe 10 chapters.
Here, I'll play as the Black Horse, and I'll say that we could see them next chapter.
Oh. Ooh. As we see God Knight Nojiko unleashed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a decently sized theory that Nami might be a celestial dragon. Maybe we meet her family here, which would be kind of interesting. And they're like, oh yeah, I lost my baby the other day. Like I lost it at, what was that place called? Oikot?
Oikot. Yeah, Oikot.
The Great Sea King in Oikot Village or something like that.
Because
Oikot is like shaped like a sea dragon.
Dang, you're holding live action lore canon? That's pretty tough. Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I'm taking a hard stance. The one good thing the live action has provided.
I do, because they did say that Oda was a part of like the egg, like the Easter eggs and like the design of lore, world building stuff like the maps. I'm pretty sure that was something that was talked about. And so then I also referenced that in my Nami video where it's just like those were some really good
it's an interesting detail.
props that they made. Like those are probably the highest quality props I've seen. Like they weren't even related. They were related to the story, obviously, last episode, but like of the first season. Dang, I can't even say the last episode anymore because season two's
no, season 2 of OPLA isn't out yet.
I keep having amnesia regarding this because every time we talk and you say that, and then I go out or I leave, and then I get like a One Piece. Like I think I just saw like something One Piece season live action season 3 is now in production. I'm like, what?
Oh, it trends every now and then whenever like new news drops. Because they had like a picture of Smoker and Tashigi, and I'm not even joking. It had like 150,000 likes on Twitter, not because it looked good, but because somebody said it looks like a cheap porn set. And Smoker and Tashigi were like looking at each other like this, and the cosplay's like, it wasn't, or cosplay. The costumes weren't amazing, but they weren't bad. So it's like in this weird middle ground of like comical porn, and just they had a lot of like sexual tension in that scene. I don't know what's going on, and people were just laughing at it. And then the next time it was trending was for Wapol's reveal. And I don't know why they're doing it like this, but every character that's getting revealed, they're getting like this black and white, like red, dark lightning around him. And it's like a character panning like this. It's like you're playing a fighting game and they're announcing the characters one by one. And it's so like weirdly ominous. And it fits for some characters, but for some it doesn't make sense. Like I think they did that for Vivi, for Mr. 5, Mr. 3, etc. And the latest one was Wapol. And because Walpole's like really mechanical in the live action, it looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. Like Freddy Fazbear is like being introduced, and it looks so funny, dude. I don't know. Like, I'm sure people don't want to hear my take on the OPLA again. Like, I'm not gonna get into it, but it looks really funny. Like, I watched the OPLA just to get a good laugh.
I didn't see any of that stuff. I mean, I think I saw the Smoker before because that was an earlier thing. But I saw Ace and I saw the knife. I was like, "That's cool."
God, Ace!
And then, and then I was just like, "Yeah, that's all I need." I like that little knife thing that they put in the sand. I was like, "That's my fill of the live action," and I'm done.
I'm good now. No more.
Yeah. But on the cover story, there's something that I noticed just today, and I wonder, given God Valley and what Kuma did, is it possible that behind Genzo is Blackbeard's sister?
That's just okay.
Wait, so what? It's just the curly hair.
You're calling her Blackbeard's sister because she has curly hair? Is that just like a gross generalization?
Wait, no. It literally just looks like Teach. It looks like baby Blackbeard
as the resident feminist. That is horrendous to say, Par.
What is it? What does a resident feminist mean? You just live in a feminist. Like I don't know what that means.
I don't know. It's funny. I did a video the other day, and somebody was like, Sai is very misogynistic. And then, like, I think 1 hour later, somebody commented, Sai's a super feminist. I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? I'm being hit with, like,
the duality.
The duality of commenters. I'm like, which one am I, boys? What's happening here?
You should drop them both in a Discord room and have them duke it out.
Yeah, defend me. Which one am I? I don't know. I don't think this is Blackbeard's sister, Par. I think it's just a curly-haired gal. It could even be a guy. It's 2025. Anything's possible.
After Marco's dad's situation, I ain't letting anything slide.
Nothing sliding. Okay, but this is a cover request by a guy named Ideal Sanji. Maybe Oda just drew this woman tomboy character to please the Ideal Sanjis out there.
Oh, because that would be if Oda got an SBS question, can you draw female Blackbeard? That's what it would look like.
Yeah, this is female Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Blackbeard without the revenge story.
Yeah, I think Oda has done that, and it doesn't look like this. I think. No, has he done it for Blackbeard? I don't think he. Wait.
I think he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was alongside all the warlords, I think.
That's what I'm thinking, but maybe
Yeah, it was kind of gross looking.
Yeah, it's not coming to mind, so probably I just repressed the memory.
It's like whenever Oda does the gender bend one, he gives them like the corniest catchphrases known to mankind. And I just remember all of them being like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I forgot what the fun. I think the crocodile was the funny one. I mean, that one was the anticipated one, but there was like the line that they had. I forget what it was, but yeah, honestly, the person on the other side of the cover story, that could be Blackbeard.
I'm looking at gender bent Blackbeard right now. It is disgusting. Why do all the gender bent characters minus Crocodile and Boa look insane? Like Crocodile and Boa look normal gender bent. Everybody else, almost like caricatures, I would say. Like Jinbei has like the crazy eyelashes, the face got reduced, the teeth are like
looks good.
Accentuated. Mihawk looks good, actually. Yeah, Mihawk looks good. Boa looks like they're preparing for a snowstorm. Doflamingo.
Why did Jinbei get a top knot?
Becomes like a shovel chin? I don't even know.
Wait, Jinbei. Is he?
And then Blackbeard's neck is like 2 times the size. I don't know what Oda's doing with these. Like some of them look good, some of them look bad.
I don't know why. Like I'm looking at Jinbei and he looks normal with the top knot, but it's not like accentuated. But for whatever reason, on the girl Jinbei, it looks in like. It's just like, that's the issue. I don't even know why. Even though it's not the issue, the haircut's abomination as well. Why does it have a bowl cut?
We don't ask this. I remember we saw like gender bent Law, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. But now, like, I'm looking at the other Shishibukai, I'm like, yeah, maybe we should just like keep that to Law. And I just
realized this is huge. One, I think Kuma's is the most cursed. Secondly, this is what a female Buccaneer would look like. I never really, like, Oda's never drawn a female.
Not all Buccaneers look the same, Par.
How do you know that?
God Valley, not all of them look like, there
wasn't any Buccaneers besides Kuma.
Oh! Well, we don't know that yet. I mean, Bonnie did like the distorted future, and she looked different.
She did the thing, and she had the barrel body.
Yeah, but she doesn't look like the Kuma here in this gender bent picture.
Yeah, but that's because she was just envisioning her dad. She wasn't a true Buccaneer. She was just being like, big, strong man, and that's my dad.
I feel like we need a bigger pool than just
Does she even know that Kuma's a Buccaneer? I don't think that's something that was disseminated. Until the flashback, until like the memory thing.
I think she knows beforehand.
Because
Vegapunk was like dissecting her dad. She was like nearby the Buccaneer conversations. You could say that she didn't hear it, but
she listened.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh, it's one of those situations.
Yeah, did she hear it? Did she not
shouting?
Yeah, it's like Emu and Cobra in the throne room. Was Emu loud enough for Cobra to hear? I don't know. You tell me.
If Oda redid that scene, he just puts a megaphone with Emu.
Yeah,
that'd be so funny.
God,
yeah, or no, I mean the reverse is true too. Are they having Cobra shout back at Emu? Like he's like dying. He's like every word he has to cough up blood because his Nefertari D Lily. I can't hear you. Can you speak up? And then he just starts coughing up blood and dying.
God,
that would be the real scenario, right? Like they wouldn't even. The reality is they didn't need to shoot him. They didn't need to stab him. They just needed him to like take out his wheelchair and have him run to the door, and he'd probably die on the way there.
Just put a stick in between the wheels and you're good.
Yeah. I mean, he did stand up for Sabo, but that obviously, like Emu. If Emu didn't skewer him in that moment, he probably would have fell on his own. He's like, Sabo, go on without me, and they could have just waited.
Yeah, could have just
like
hanged out
anytime now.
He's just gonna die.
Yeah. He was more dead, I think, when Vivi jumped off her boat, like the crow's nest, and landed, and he literally had like blood on like a sleeve or something. I mean,
the thing is that they signed his death warrant the minute when they said that he couldn't have Chaka or Pell in the throne room. He told them to wait outside, and they're like, yeah, they can't come in. It's like the minute Chaka and Pell are not by Cobra's side, he's cooked because they're like the strongest fighters in Alabasta.
In the verse, honestly, surviving an explosion like that, I've never seen such a feat.
Dude, if Chaka and Pell were in that throne room, I do think Cobra might have survived. It's kind of insane. Like, I mean, Sabo got out.
Eva would have been like, oh my god, it's one of the 5 flying devil fruits. And then...
Dude, what are the chances that Lily, her bodyguards, also had the same devil fruits?
Oh, and then they got like PTSD. They're like, oh my god, it's the Guardians of Alabasta. They're back.
Yeah, Emu's like, oh my god, Anubis. I fought him in the past. Like, that'd be crazy.
That would have been tough, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of would love that. Like, I say love that, like, as far as, like, if they actually make Chaka and Pell, like, strong, all right, we're gonna stop it there. But if they give them, like, the visual notoriety, there's, like, they shudder a little bit, I'd be like,
ooh,
all right, Anubis gets
imagine
that. I get
the minute they transform, it's not even, like, the transformations themselves that remind Emu of them, but, like, the wills of the Void Century Anubis and Hawk person. I think it's like a falcon.
Horus, I think it is.
It's not actually Horus. No. Pell is not Horus.
He's not?
No, he's like an actual just eagle or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're giving him like the mythological version of like what he should be.
Yeah, but
he's not
Chaka
actually
just
Horus.
Anubis. Yeah, but Chaka
he's a
isn't just Anubis. Chaka the jackal. Yeah, but the jackals, we just say it's Anubis, right?
Yeah, we say it's Anubis because it looks like Anubis. Pell is a falcon, but he doesn't look like Horus, though.
All right, fine.
Look at all the depictions of Horus. Pell does not look like it.
The Horus I'm looking at is super derpy and it kind of looks like it, but Pell looks dope.
No, Horus looks way cooler than Pell.
No, because the eye thing. It's the makeup. Horus has that makeup. That's why. Horus has that same eye makeup.
Yeah, because it goes down. Yeah, but like, okay, if Pell's hybrid form wasn't that beefy, he would look a lot more like Horus.
All right, I want to just pull up. I just looked at Horus, Egyptian god, and there is a cool one, but this is, I don't know why this is the most prevalent one. It's just like, it's just, what is this?
Just bird guy. It looks like he has an orca for a head.
Like MSP,
I think it goes hard.
Like, this is from like 1990s. What? How did this come up in my Google search? This is crazy. Like, yeah, I have these like AI horses that show up too. Oh, it's not coming up on this side. It's too dark, but like, yeah, it's mainly this eye makeup. That's mainly it. And then but I'm pretty sure Horus is nuts, like in lore, in mythology. So like,
I mean, same with Anubis. In mythology, Horus and Anubis, believe it or not, they're like tier 1 fighters. Yeah. Good one, Par. Yeah, well, what are you gonna say next? Yeah, Jesus was great at magic. Oh yeah, of course, Par. By the way, Santa Claus is pretty OP. Oh, thanks. Cool. What's next, huh?
No. But like Anubis was like he was like a guardian of like the gateway to the afterlife, but there was like the guy for like hell and judgment and like the hippo person that like are actually in hell. Anubis was he's dope and we
IRL Gnosis, bro.
But Horus, I'm pretty sure he's like standalone, but he was like he was like the sun's, like he's the Anubis for the sun, but because the sun was just himself, and they didn't. I
like to imagine whoever like actually knows the lore for Horus is like screaming right now, like, no, no, you're butchering it, please. Yeah,
guys in the comments, power scale Horus and
power scaling both of them. Who wins in a 1v1 fight? Bloodlusted. So what were we saying again? Maybe Chaka and Pell transform, and it's not even their forms that remind Emu of the Void Century counterparts, but it's like the will of the devil fruits that like start screaming out, and Emu's like, oh, it's them. Yeah. And then he sees the Lily like standing in between them. Ooh, that'd be sick.
I mean, okay, that one's a little bit just like you look at Vivi, you see Lily. That's like you don't even have to hallucinate.
Yeah, that's true.
If you looked at Chaka and Pell and were genuinely like terrified, and you started hallucinating like 40-foot tall avatars, then you could be institutionalized. But Vivi Lily, that makes sense, right? Unless we watch, we're gonna find out Lily is like that portrait that Emu has is life size. You're gonna find out that they were just bigger back then.
I mean, that could
They're
be
just
it.
huge. Yeah, honestly, that is. I think that's also like real, like some mythologies. Oh no, it's that like like Abrahamic, like the OG people, Adam and Eve and Noah and those people. They like lived
Like
1,000 years.
8 feet tall.
Yeah, they were taller and they lived for, and then as they continued, their lifespans went to ours, and we kind of suck ass, but
Yeah, we
it
got
is what it
nerfed.
is.
So now we're 33 years in the past, 5 years after God Valley, and people kind of like around the world are just talking about this shadowy guy emerging from the mist. And it's pretty cool, man. You know, people are telling Big News Morgans, rumors are spreading in the prison. Hell, they're even wondering if it's connected to the Florian Triangle, which is a great mention.
Yeah.
We don't really get too much details about the Florian Triangle monsters, but at least we know that Oda didn't forget. But come the second page, we see that the shadowy monster is none other than our goat, King Harald, going around fighting pirate ships and pirate crews for the world government. I don't know how this rumor spawned. Like, how often is he surrounded by mist? Like, is the mist a paid actor? Because, like, they're like, sure, this happens once or twice, but enough times to where it's like the, like, you know, circulating rumor. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when I was reading this chronologically, I was very confused because like when I got to the mist part, I'm just like, all right, because I didn't scroll down the whole way, so I'm just like, all right, guys, that's just Harold. Like we literally got this panel for panel like 2 chapters ago. But I was confused because what I was saying was like, oh, like and then when I scroll down and I get the whole thing that he's working for the Navy and stuff. I was saying last chapter that uh, because used the word slave, like I think it would make sense to parallel Kuma's situation where they asked him to be a warlord. So then I was like, what would Harold be? And then when I said warlord, that immediately people were like, warlords probably don't exist back then. I was like, all right, like it could be like anything in that capacity, and so like if it was, and then when I get to here I'm like, oh, he's a warlord because they say Navy, and I'm like, wait, then why is he hiding? Because the warlords were sanctioned in public. So I'm like, and also it's like it's not crazy for a king. We have Doflamingo, and Crocodile would have been one of being a warlord, king, pirate person that could just do this and it'd be completely fine and no one would complain. So I was like, why is he hiding? And then I'm also like, wait, this mist is just like, did they just make mist? Is this the same thing from God Valley? Is that mist? Is he just floating over God Valley? Like, I was so confused until I got to the part where it wasn't the Navy, it was the world government. And I just like didn't factor in the reality that like, oh, they could just make him a devoted blade of God. And so then backtracking, I'm like, maybe one of the spells they have is like a mist thing. Like maybe that's what it is. Like they just set up shop and then they're like use their like whatever spells they get from their mark, and at the shallow sea contract level they get missed. And then I was thinking like, and then once I hit that part I was like, this kind of sounds like what Don Krieg went through with Mihawk. And I was like, wait, Mihawk is probably the same thing, but that's super weird. And I'm like, honestly, like Moria's foreshadow, Mihawk's foreshadow, you combine the two, you just get like Harold. And so maybe the mist is just like one of the things that he gets, but he's not I don't know if he's a god knight at this moment, right?
No, he's not a god knight at this moment,
Yeah.
so this can't be the shallow sea
Maybe
contract at work.
unless he has like a retainer with him. That would make sense, to be honest. If you
Oh,
had
like a Chalk and Pell of Elbaf? And one of them has the misty giant fruit?
No, I was meaning like there was a devoted blade of God with him, because
Oh,
there's probably more than, because the moment later on when we just add another member to it, because I thought devoted blade of God, it was gonna be like the other part of this thing is like he doesn't need to jump, but do you think that he just wants to go for a swim every time? Like he just wants to get wet, because he could just Hakoku or just throw a slash at them from his boat. He doesn't need to jump off like this. And it's not like that would be any more identifying if he just stayed in the mist and just went, and then just a random bout of hockey just blew up their boat. I'm like, does he want them to like sort of get the humanoid thing? Because that was the above thing. They're like, no, it's definitely a human doing it. I just don't know anyone that big. Like, and I'm like, he's hiding in the mist, but then he jump scares them, and then he just goes into the water. Like, is he trying to like?
He's making sure there's no survivors, so he'll swim in the water with the people and just slap them.
Yeah, but there are we just walked through the survivors. They're there.
No, he's getting rid of some of them though.
It's okay, so then there are survivors. You just said some of them. There are survivors.
I'm just saying, then. Like, Harald is trying to be thorough. Maybe he wants to see them in the water, and then he'll kill more. Because, just cutting a ship in half doesn't kill everybody. So he's in the water with them, just like...
I would imagine a hockey blast, like a Hakoku Sovereignty, would probably be more effective than directly having your sword slice the thing.
And also, you're saying Hakoku Sovereignty, but every time we've seen it, it's been with two giants. Harald is just by himself right now.
You don't okay, the King of Giants can do it solo. Easily.
I mean, it seems like a duo attack. I mean, it's not a thing like of strength. I mean, Kaido hasn't done it solo. Big Mom hasn't done it solo.
Okay, he's doing Hako. He's doing Hako sovereign. Okay, he's got the half of it. Okay, what do you want from me? He's using a hockey. There are hockey blasts without two people. I was just saying the Giants one.
What, the Kamusari and Rox's special shockwave blast? I mean, you're saying to
Zoro did it,
but that's like a sword thing. That's like a sword style attack.
He has a sword.
We don't know if he has that ability. Okay, just because you have a sword doesn't mean you know every sword ability known to mankind.
Him and Rox were literally doing at distance.
But it was their specialties, man. Like Rox's specialty was shockwave blast. Harald probably doesn't have that. And you're saying, why doesn't he do a Hakoku Sovereignty?
You're saying that. You're saying the distant. Oh, this is peak power scaling debate right here. You're saying that when they were not hitting blades with each other, that was all because of Rox. Rox is creating the gap.
And I don't even know where you're getting this from. This is some next level brain rot.
You just said that was shockwaves from Rox. I was just saying that they were both using like Hockey Rio. And
no, they can use Conquer's Hockey.
Yeah, and they could.
I'm just saying, Rox's specialty was doing shockwave blasts. That doesn't automatically say that all their clashes that don't touch are just shockwave blasts. No, it could still be Conquer's Hockey. I'm just saying that Rox could actually send his sword attack out.
Okay.
Harald doesn't have that same ability.
Okay. If it's not Hakoku Sovereignty, I'm just saying that I think that Harald has an attack where he could just throw a thing without jumping into the water for it. I don't think he has to jump into the water to do the attack.
He wants to
do it from his boat. That's all I
think he wants to jump into the water,
Whether you name it Hakoku Sovereignty or whatever, I was choosing the one attack we know that Elbaf is known for. But,
yeah, the one attack that requires two people.
All right, if he has a divine departure kind of attack, that's all. If he has something similar.
Nah, I think he's just like a guy who leveled up nothing but strength.
Hey, I mean, that could be the case. That would be interesting.
He's just leveling up strength nonstop, and he doesn't have like that crazy sword blast attack. And if he does, maybe it's not ideal for destroying a ship.
I've wondered this though. Do you think that like that Loki attack that he had where he slammed his hammer into the tree and there was a lightning bolt? The lightning bolt didn't hit him and it didn't hit his hammer, did it? It didn't hit his hammer. It just like shot through, right?
It struck the spot he was hitting.
It struck the spot he was hitting. So do you think that Harald has an attack like that or that was weapon specific?
I think that was weapon specific.
And if it's weapon specific, why does Loki have the only one? Is there not? Do you think that like Harald had one and he's just not using it, or
I
do you
don't
think that
know.
Loki just has
I think Loki just
that one?
has that one. I mean,
I
even
think
in
it's
this
kind
flashback,
of.
he doesn't have that yet.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, when do we get to the point that like Loki gets that?
He probably gets it either the day Harald dies in like the treasury, or he finds it off of Elbaf, because the day Harald dies, he still has that toy hammer.
Yeah, yeah, he has the knot thing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, when does he equip it? When does he get the mythical grade lightning thing? And if he finds it off island, that's super dope.
Be kind of
I'm
crazy
excited for
considering
that.
that it's like giant sized, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because like the understanding would be he goes into the thing, but I don't. Does he know about the room? He probably knows about the room in the back, right? Like
Yeah, he
the
probably knows
treasure
about the
room.
treasury. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that would make the most sense that it's just there, but like it could also just not be there and he finds it later on and then
It could just be like in an
you
armory
know,
somewhere too.
or like Shanks tells him about it and it's like, "Hey Loki, there's this big hammer. You're the only guy who could carry it." And
I don't
then
know
that
if
was like a part
Shanks
of
would
the
tell
thing.
him about it.
But like because you gotta wonder, like Shanks beats him and ties him to the tree with the hammer. So like for some reason they allowed Loki to. That was one of the
I
things he
mean,
said.
it's
He's
not even
like, "All
just
right, good
Shanks.
luck."
You could say all the giants let it happen too. It's not like the hammer is like something that
No,
Shanks
but
can only prevent. It's like the
no,
giants could have
but
came down
what
here and took
Loki.
it too.
I mean, I guess Loki would be saying like he's not saying that it's impossible, but that was one of the flexes he was saying. He's like, "All right, good luck carrying my hammer," and and then I was like, "Yeah, I
Nah,
guess
I
like if
bet
you got like
Hiradin could
15
do it.
giants,
Yeah.
Hiradin's the size of the nub on the back of it. Hiradin's up to his kneecaps, brother. Like
Oh yeah, but
Hiradin's
don't forget
not
Hiradin. Okay, but
isn't Hiradin isn't even the son in the Ida's son's title. Like Hiradin's not that
think about it
guy.
like this though. Hiradin has big ambitions. He wants to be the king of Elbaf and unite all the giants. So
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
he
oh yeah,
lost.
he's got to be able to lift a hammer. Come on.
He lost. He almost lost a mock vice.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
wish
whoa. He beat Mach Weiss though, didn't he?
he shattered. He crippled himself.
I just, dude,
Oh,
it's
like I
so
need
funny seeing
Gerd.
a fight Mach Weiss and all of his bones break.
I need Gerd to
It's still so
do
good.
diagnosis. Oh, this is gonna take years to heal. It's gonna to famously
Actually,
take
this will
endless
never
series.
heal. God.
Oh yeah, we gotta mention like when Hiradin gets into the fight on Elbaf, Gerd's like, "Wait, Hiradin, not your left hand! Don't break it again!" And then Hiradin's like, "Don't worry, Gerd," and then he just breaks it, and he just hopes like I don't know, Frankie gives him a like a cybernetic arm instead. That could be honestly, he might do something like that. We might see his bones reshatter. Oda likes doing that, like with Usopp, showing his skull shatter. He might do that with Hiradin's arm.
Speaking of Usopp, somebody commented in one of my videos. They're like, "So what happened to Usopp's arc? Is it still happening? Did it get fucking canceled, dude? What's
Someone
up with
said
that?"
that at the end of the chapter. They're like, "Yo, Par, the Ida getting sick thing. Oh, the parallels with Usopp's mom's
The
going
parallel
crazy."
with Usopp's mom. I mean, that's not wrong though, because we were talking about how Loki and Usopp parallel each other, like in the early segments of
Right.
Elbaf. So I mean, that sounds like a meme, but it's actually pretty on the money. Which
And I
would
acknowledge that.
say that Usopp's mom probably got poisoned too. And there's a popular theory going around that Usopp poisoned his own mom so that his dad would come back home.
Sai is gonna
But that never
go onto
happened.
his alt account on TikTok, make the post, retweet it with his Twitter,
No, I'm
and
not
be
the
like,
one making the
"This
post.
guy, this guy thinks that Usopp poisoned his own mom. He lied to all the villagers. Why stop at the villagers? He probably lied to his father and mother."
I mean, have you seen that agenda piece side though? It's so funny. It's all over like,
Dude,
oh, Zoro pushed Kuina down the stairs so he could have her sword.
we
Sanji's the one who ate Zeph's leg while he was sleeping. Like there's like so many good agenda piece theories like that. I love it.
we would be the ultimate final bosses for those like book talker people who get triggered by these theories because we would troll so hard, and that pulls some shit like, yeah, you think that a liar stops at like one lie, two lies, three lies? When did the lies start and end? And then you have them defending liars, like you push the that's essentially what trolling does, right? Like if you engage with trolling, you're gonna, you're gonna find yourself trying to defend some insane shit rather than realize the person you're debating is trolling your ass, right? And so I like, and with the Usopp thing, I acknowledged all of that with like, yeah, I get it, Usopp Loki thing. But my part that I started busting up laughing is like, guys, I know we want to mention Loki. I mean, Usopp with Elbaf, but we can't. This is worse for him. We can't bring him in the conversation with Loki every time. We have to wait until it happens and stop expecting it because
I don't know. Right
painful.
now, Usopp and Loki, it's kind of like Shanks and Mihawk, where whenever Loki gets upscaled, Usopp gets upscaled as well.
No, bro.
It's like, oh, a Shanks feat? You mean a Mihawk feat? Interesting. It's the same thing with Loki and Usopp. Oh, Loki destroyed a village? You're telling me Usopp can destroy a village too? Technically, he destroyed Syrup Village.
With his lies.
With his lies alone.
Yeah. Loki and Usopp did the same thing, but Usopp is so powerful, he tortured them for the next 15 years of his life. Whereas Loki ended it in a single day. You gotta ask, which one's more painful? I think Loki did them a service by ending them right there, whereas Syrup Village had to, every morning at the crack of dawn, the pirates are coming, and then you don't know if it's real, you don't know if it's fake, and you're being in the East Blue, it's like you probably lost your family to some pirates, so it is traumatizing and stuff like that. And so maybe Usopp, you're right. Actually,
like a reoccurring nightmare for the citizens.
I'm starting to see the parallels. You're right. Usopp's hammer of destruction is his mouth. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, you freaking know it.
Yeah, I do have a video where I say that, well, Aesop, the guy that, the Aesop's Fables, whatever, the lore behind that guy, he has a quote that says, "The tongue is the greatest weapon." And that was like a huge comment. Everyone commented like, "Yo, Bar."
Check it out,
like,
Bar.
I was just reading the quote, guys. It was something saying like, women fall to their knees from the tongue or whatever, but it was meaning in the sense of like it does everything. It's a multifaceted tool, unlike anything else. And so like, Ragnar can only shoot lightning, but wait till the day where lightning shoots out of Usopp's mouth. Can't wait for that. I mean, we have characters doing that, so why stop our expectations at just giving Usopp a hammer? Give him mythical powers too.
I mean, speaking of that, do you still believe in the theory that Usopp will pick up Ragnar?
What do you mean by "do you still"? Why did you word it?
What do you mean?
That? When did I ever believe that Usopp picks up Ragnar?
It was that one day we were talking and you said that's gonna happen, and I was like, yeah, dude, I made a video about it, and we talked about it a little bit more.
No, that was your friend. That was your friend. I'm not your friend.
It was definitely you.
No. Me, right? I didn't even believe in Mjolnir.
Yeah, no, you love that theory though.
No. I don't love that. I don't love Usopp. I don't even like my Usopp theory. Like I always say
Usopp actually.
Yeah, is he real?
God.
Oh god. The real reason why Sugar freaked out was from the faces, because she's never seen a face like it before. Because Usopp isn't real. So he wasn't. She just gets scared off she's the only person who sees the ghost. That's what it is. That makes sense.
You know how crazy it would be? Sense. And you like this theory a lot. The theory where none of the Straw Hats are actually real.
Oh, yeah. And it's just Brooke imagining them in his psychosis from losing all of his crew.
Yeah,
right?
And then we'll find the One Piece, and then we come to find out that it's just Luffy by himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. No, the One Piece
favorite
is just,
theories.
it's Brooke's skin all in one piece, and he's just waiting for his skin to come back. Because people think that Brooke is like the main character.
That's nasty.
I mean, you've been a big supporter of this theory that like Brooke is like the main character that lives beyond all the Straw Hats. So that would make sense that the One Piece is related to Brooke, right? According to that theory.
Yeah, I don't know about that theory. I don't like Brooke that much because he's just a skeleton. Yeah, I like skeletons, but not like Brooke.
How does Brooke die?
He did say that if you break his bones, he'll get hurt. So I'm assuming you just break all his bones at once or something, just shatter them. Yeah,
but if you just pour milk on him, then he's good, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how you heal him. But if he can't get milk, then he's just dead. Or just throw him in water.
So we got. Oh, that's why.
A lot of people ask that question as if it's like a big, like, oh my god, how does Brooke actually die? It's like, I mean, you could kill him if you really wanted to. I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah. But I think that's why Emu got rid of Lucia, because they were the milk country. It wasn't anything plus, other than that.
If you have hockey, I'm assuming you could probably like hurt his devil fruit too, or hurt his ability.
Yeah, like
it's not impossible, guys.
If Saint Venus did what he did to Kuma to Brooke, surely that would work, right? Like cut his internal whatever spirit stuff. Yeah. Like I'm sure he can do that too.
Like I feel like soul damage would go really hard against Brooke.
Yeah, super effective.
Super effective against them.
Fairy type.
Yeah, I just love when people talk about Brooke as if he's like this immortal being that can never die. It's like, I mean, if he doesn't fight anybody, yeah, he could survive. But if Brooke was truly immortal, I don't think he would need us at Thriller Bark, right? He could just like endlessly fight until he wins.
Yeah. Like if he walked up to a Kainu and a Kainu just threw magma at him, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brooke is cooked, guys. I don't think he's like walking out of that or like pouring milk on his bones saying, oh, I could still fight a Kainu. And then a Kainu eventually gets winded after like 10 days of fighting. He's like, oh, Brooke, he's finally going to land a blow on me. Yeah, it's not like Super Red or ReZero. He just
Brooke constantly being like, fights. I got the counter to magma. And it's just a bottle of milk. And Kainu's just like, is this guy for real?
Yeah. It's just people bring it up every now and then. They're like, oh, but how does Brooke, he technically can't lose. It's like, I mean, Brooke is lost in the past. We can't win. It's not immortal, guys. It's not like the God Knights.
Yeah.
So we go on, and speaking of God Knight victims, we got Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard defining pinnacles of peak in their era. The Yonkos. Big Mom looks really cool here. And then we also got our boys, Shiki and Wang Ji. Wang Ji looks crazy, bro.
Whoa, that's crazy. You put Wang Ji in the same boat as these God Knight victims? Crazy.
Oh,
Wang Ji wasn't even there.
Dude, Wang Ji unironically got a crazy glow up.
Is that what we're calling that?
I think he looks awesome. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he's like barbell levels for me right now. Wang Ji looks amazing in this chapter.
Sai has psychosis ever since Barbell has been forgotten from the thing.
Okay, you cannot lie to me. He looks awesome here, right?
This is guys, if you see this in your friends where like they cut a drug cold turkey and then they put another drug on, they're not okay. Sai went from where's Barbell? Barbell's here. He's underneath the island. He sunk the island. His hair is on fire. Like, guys, don't forget, he's the Mera. And then he stopped and he just completely switched. And now it's Wang Ji is Barbell levels of excitement.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, am I wrong?
The signs are there. The content creators losing it.
I'm not wrong, though. People are saying Wang Ji might be like the hidden fifth emperor.
I mentioned Barbell one time in my stream the other day. And they were like, Par, I can't get, not you too. You can't be on this Barbell psychosis just like Sai. And I think they said like Sai made an entire video about it.
Yeah, it was like a 50-minute video.
Yeah, and I looked at it, I was like, no, they weren't lying to me.
The agenda must never die. Keep it alive. Yeah. I feel like like Arlong Hody Jones, like keep the hatred of humans alive, Hody Jones. Keep the barbell agenda here. Fester it. Foster it.
Wang Ji. Barbell showing up again would be... guys, that would be the happiest day. Sai will post 3 videos back to back to back.
The thing is, I think he will show up soon. Why are you laughing at that? What the hell?
After what I just said about how like barbell was equivalent to like a drug that you were getting high, we're gone. He's not here. You're like, unironically, I think I'm gonna take a hit of that drug again. Like, Oda's gonna give it to me sometime soon.
It's gonna happen.
It just sounded...
Well, you're laughing at it right now, but it's definitely going to happen.
Whether or not it happens, the situation right now is still funny with the way you're talking about it. Yeah, like, mark my word. I feel like I was less crazy about Bogart than you right now with the... Oh god, but
the man marked by flames theory, it's still going very prominent. It's gathering a huge following. Just wait, Par.
Oh yeah, that was the thumbnail, right? That was the title and the thumbnail of the video.
Yeah, it's Barbell holding the log post to Laugh Tale.
Like, unironically, I wouldn't be mad at Barbell coming back. Mainly, my main reason is not dislike. Okay, I don't know how to phrase it, but there's like a weird disappearance of Jinbei from like the past, because like he's mad old, and like shouldn't he be there like when Roger's there, right? Like, where was Jinbei and then Barbell and like these other insanely powerful... Like, Barbell has to be strong to be on Rox's crew, right? Like, it's not like a Shanks and Rogers. Yeah, like Rox is like choosing based off of like strength from what we can tell from his handpicked ones, and then Kaido and Big Mom were the ones that weren't in Davy backfights from what we know, and it's not like they're any weaker by any means. So then it's like, yeah, I'm sure Barbell and Gyo and all of them, they're like in a class of their own. So it's like, to lose a Fishman, we don't have that many strong Fishmen. That's like one of the main gripes about Fishman Island, was that Hody Jones was a cool villain, but he was weak. Like, the entire arc could have just been solved by Jinbei if he didn't care about politics. And Jinbei acknowledged that too. He was just like, yeah, like, I could just take him, but it'll look better if we do it this way, Luffy. And it's like, Luffy's like, why can't I just hit him? And then Jinbei's like, because human beat fishmen look bad. And Luffy's like, shit, all right, I'll jump out of a shark. Will that be fine? Yes. Yes, just wait for the moment, Luffy. Luffy doesn't wait for the moment. All the people still think he's a villain. And then he wins. And it's like, the only thing that was making it hard for Luffy was water. But then when Jinbei's standing there and being like, yeah, I could take him even in the water, even with those steroids. Like, we know for a fact that Jinbei could. That, so like, I do care that Barbell is like not there. I want Barbell to come back. I want Sunbell. I want to see the Denjiro transformation. Maybe that's what happens. Barbell transitions to Sunbell and joins the Roger Pirates, but we didn't see him in this chapter, I don't think so.
He'll pop up eventually. We can't lose faith, Barbell fans. We can't lose faith. There's a guy out there who's his account name is Barbell's Burner, and it's a picture of Barbell. That's his profile pic. I love that so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. It's like grade A role playing, man. Keep up the good work. Heaven will reward you somehow. Just know it.
Yo, I just looked the next panel over to the Roger Pirates. Some of them look really cursed.
The Roger Pirates do?
Yeah, like Crocus looks a little cursed, but then because like,
I mean, look at the guy on the far right who's like staring into our souls.
That's that actually is so terrifying. That guy might show up in my nightmares. Guys, don't look at that one.
Yeah, don't look at the guy on the far right. He is horrifying.
Yeah. He has like the 1,000-yard stare plus like some demonic like elements intertwined there. Like, I've seen you play hundreds of horror games. not one of them scared me more than this still of this dude right now. And all of the ones that jump scared weren't even that scary, other than the sound effects. If you just watch those on mute, it's not that scary. This guy on mute is scary. This is not. Oda, we need a volume edit on that one. This is for little kids. Little kids read this.
Come on, Oda. Yeah, I don't know, man. So
it looks like everyone else, like Oda, obscures their eyes besides Roger, and then that guy, because like the guy next to that guy, eyes are scared. Rayleigh, eyes closed. Scopper, sunglasses. Shanks, Buggy, eyes closed. The Captain John fake Nami person, Nami's dad theory guy that people also think that was Big News Morgan's before God Valley was revealed to be that being Big News Morgan's. His eyes were closed too. It was very. Wonder what Oda's saying with that.
Yeah, what's happening with this? It's like the whole like volume eye cover thing. It's like, oh, Luffy and these other characters are their left eyes always closed. What's happening?
Yeah.
So I am curious to see like why we didn't get any snapshots of Kyoto or Ganzui or those guys. Like, what happened to them? And then, unironically, like Barbell too. Like, I wonder what happened to those dudes. Like, do they just die, fall into irrelevancy, retire? Or are they potentially like in the Abyss dimension?
Yeah, Oda did have it out for a while with Impel Down until he broke them out. And it's like, reasonably, they would have been people who didn't die, right? Like, didn't lose, didn't die. I mean, the reality is that, is that, like, Blackbeard did not kill all of them. Blackbeard didn't run a tournament with all of them. He took those, 6 winners from 6 different cages, so to say. But there's so many more. And if the Rocks pirates were captured, which is plausible, we saw Marco's dad beating up Gyo, so like I'm sure Garp or Sengoku or Suru could have beaten them, put them in Impel Down. But maybe that I would like it if Oda wanted to re-enter some of them via that route. But it's also curious because, you give them 2 years time skip. Surely they don't just appear in the final saga just because of plot, right? So
that would be kind of cool. I mean, I think Wang Ji could appear in the final saga because he just recently got beaten by Blackbeard, Kobe, and Law. If there is an Impel Down breakout, Oda could potentially bring him back into the story. It wouldn't be absurd. It's just like, okay, how would he even fit in? Like maybe the Caribou Corbu route, Blackbeard route, but he just feels like a weird oddball that we don't know much about. And it's like, he could, but he doesn't have to. Like, I don't think anybody's clamoring for Wang Ji other than me. Yeah. And I guess Tekken was like a big fan of him back in the day.
True. The name, how did he pronounce it? How did he had like the long...
Yeah, he was
like
getting...
the WWE announcer.
You're talking about Psychosis. I think Tekken hit Psychosis with Wang Ji at some point too.
Yeah. A valid one. And you know what?
And the stocks paid off, man. The stocks paid off for Tekken.
I think Tekken is like, if you could invest in a creator for stocks, like Tekken would probably be the most fun. Yeah, because like the Roto stocks, like
Tekken, I think is the safest YouTuber to fall in line with, in terms of theories that are crazy. Like Tekken, I feel like he always hits the mark. Like I'll do spoilers, and then a couple of people will be like, "Sai, Tekken said this like the other day or like a month ago." I was like, whoa, like it's crazy, dude.
Tekken is
there's even like one time I had to like explicitly say like, dude, he literally called this. I don't know how he did it. Like, because the thing is, we're in the theory realm, so we see a lot of theories, so it's like, and we talk about like a lot of random stuff. So whenever somebody brings up a theory, or whenever a theory comes true and it's something that we haven't even like discussed an iota of, it's like, oh, that's actually impressive. Because me and you, we brain rot things. We talk about popular theories, obscure theories. So when like a theory slips through our cracks and comes true, it's like, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Like the Roto one was insane.
The Roto one was particularly insane, mainly because
that was a good call.
Of the time. Like a lot of the other theories that like, and Oda's talked about various levels, not frustration, but like, it's probably predictable at this point because it's been 10 years, 5 years for some of these things. The Roto one was like a span of like 3-4 chapters, and he instantly clocked it. And that was just like an insane pull. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's straight up the shoes and eyes from this cover story. And we're like, huh? And then he got it, and it's like, whoa, that's nuts. I was out there being like, nah, these wrists are mad feminine, bro. Like, and then Tekking's like, but you see them heels? I don't really go to shoe stores, but let me tell you, I know how Oda designs these shoes and hair and eyes, and he was right, and that's pretty awesome. But yeah, on the Wang Ji note, the thing about bringing back the Rocks Pirates is that Oda did like it. Their power levels would be nuts, especially if you let them cook, right? The prison thing, like, yeah, you could put that as a nerf, but like when you have characters like gaining insane levels of hockey post time skip, it's like it'd be kind of weird not to like linearly give them power. And if they're on the Rocks Pirates fighting at these levels, they're probably insanely strong. And it's not unfounded because Wang Ji was so strong that Blackbeard required Law's assistance and the Navy's to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of insane considering that Blackbeard had his crew. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And do we remember if no Kuzan was with him at the time, but we don't know if Kuzan attended, right? Because Kuzan and Blackbeard met before they got Hachinosu.
Yeah. I believe it was before.
Yeah, but and Oda did talk about Rocky Port, but he didn't tell the specificity of like Kuzan participating or not. Which that like I don't think you need any help after that, right? Like how strong could this guy be, even if he has hundreds of minions? If you have Kuzan and Blackbeard and the other Titanic commanders, it's like I think you win, right? I don't think you lose. I don't really, but if Wang Ji is strong, then, it could make sense. And it could also be cool if Wang Ji got the other Rocks Pirates, right? Like after the first Impel Down breakout, like he gets some of the strong ones. And then that's why they needed more firepower. Because if he had one Rocks Pirate, scary. If you had 3 or 4, all right, now maybe like a little bit, maybe an Admiral is still not like, maybe that Admiral who lost an arm and a leg needs a little bit of help, I could see that.
Yeah.
Give him Gyo.
Yeah, imagine we see Wang Ji's right-hand man was actually Barbell. And they could call him the protector of the pirates. Because it's Pirate Island he's defending.
And do you remember what Hachinosu used to look like?
Ooh, yeah, it was a fishbowl.
Mm-hmm. Barbell.
And,
Barbell.
We could say that Blackbeard went extreme diff against Barbell, too.
I can't reference like a Japanese one, so I'm going to reference a Chinese.
Oh, God.
But, like, it's like one of those things where it's like you see the, like there's the main character and a group of characters. They're on an island, and there's that unsuspecting, weak, like oldish guy there, and he's just there. He's strong enough to be there, but he's not there. And then you find out he's like the guardian of the turtle island that you're on, like Mount Kunlun or something like that. And like maybe Barbell is like the spirit of Hachinosu. And so when he saw God Valley turning, he swam back to Hachinosu to tell Wang Ji that, like, I need my island protected. You are now the true king. And because, like, they already gave up on Rock, so he just kind of went back. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, and then, obviously, we don't know, like, how they got along while they're a part of Rox's crew. Maybe they're, like, best buds.
Barbell's probably just a god knight, right? He's probably just a devoted god. He probably has an abyss mark.
That'd be so funny. We see him next chapter. He's like, hey, what's up, Harald?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man? Good seeing you again.
We see, like, we go back to the God Valley. We see the Yeti and Barbell dap it up. And they're just like, hey, yo, bro. Shit's about to go crazy.
No, imagine you're fighting out in the open seas, you're fighting the world government, and then you just hear plop, plop, and then you're like, what is that sound? And then you look off the coast, and then there's like a bunch of catfish rolling up, and you're like, oh no, it's him! It's just Barbell.
We find out that the reason why we stopped saying Barbell was because the Yeti God Knight was Barbell in a furry suit. It was the same shape, just with like hair on top.
He was cosplaying. He didn't want people to find out.
Yeah, and it worked. Like the God Knight's like, hey, Yeti, cool guy, and then like they just don't know, and it's like Shanks, right? At certain points, like Shanks is doing that to his own crew, right? Like, then they're like, they either know or don't know, or some of them know and some of them don't know, and no one's questioning, like, hey, where did our captain go? And that's Barbell could be doing that. He just puts on a furry costume and it's like, what? They wouldn't be the wiser. He changes his name to Sunbell and Roger accepts him. It's honestly pretty easy to fool people in One Piece, I feel like. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, people are getting sick of my Barbell talk, but brother, how can we not talk about him? He's such a prominent character. It's like, I feel like we'd be doing a disservice not talking about Barbell.
Would you rather have us talk about Sukiyaki or Barbell?
Yeah, there we go. Sukiyaki or Barbell, like you gotta pick your poison realistically.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Would you rather have Sukiyaki brain rot or Barbell brain rot?
You're getting brain rot either way. You know what you're clicking into. I apologize for nothing. So we go on. Let's see here. Roger gets executed. Giants join the Marines. Cool. And now we are... Oh yeah, we're still 24 years in the past. That very same year, Harald gets the shallow sea contract, and it gets the same tattoo on his arm that Shanks has. It looks like the tattoos only go on the left arm, because I think we have 3 instances now: Shanks, Harald, and Sommers. So here we go. Harald is now like God's Steel.
You don't put it on your dominant arm. You got to put it on the arm you don't use.
The arm you don't use? Yeah. I mean, we don't know. I mean, the way Harald... Probably. So people are saying the way Harald gripped his like axe earlier in the chapter, or sword, it looks like his left arm is his dominant one.
No, the forward going one is his dominant.
Yeah, I just made that up.
This is the control. Yeah, on the thing that would be his right hand is the.
But in the other chapter, when Harald was drinking, he picked a cup up with his left hand.
Oh,
so how are you gonna disprove that? Huh?
Yeah, you're doing the mythical Conjuro pull there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That one, that famously was it Will of Marco? It was something Marco, right? That was the creator who did that one. The Conjuro call out, saying that he's a traitor. Figuring out that Conjuro was using his left hand the entire time, and so he was a traitor based off of that. And that was there was like someone Marco, I think, right?
There is a guy named the Will of Marco. He's a translator. I don't know if he came up with that theory, though.
Yeah. That's why I was like, wait, Will of Marco? Isn't that the guy on Twitter? I don't think it's that guy.
Will of Marco's the guy on Twitter. Really good translator. He does a lot of like the raw translations. I don't know if he came up with the Conjuro theory, though.
Guys, in the comments.
I think that was somebody else.
Yeah. But I just remember Marco being in the name, so.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, Brago was telling me about that one.
But so we got the 3 tiers of contracts here. We got shallow sea, deep sea, and then deep sea contracts, which I'm kind of curious to see how Viz translate this, because in the leaks they named it a little bit differently, but this is fine too. I guess it still like gives off the impression that like, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, because tier 3 and the other ones, from what I saw, it was like sea floor contract. Or abyssal contract. Like that's the final tier.
Like it doesn't sound crazy, but deep sea versus sea floor, like I get it. Like, Davy Jones is sea floor. Like that is the association. He wanders the sea floor and everything that's on the sea floor is his. So that is a little bit different than deep sea, but like obviously the whole connotation with this naming scheme just shouts some kind of like Davy association for some reason, which kind of makes sense to me, because like I was saying this before, like the way that the Celestial Dragons were talking about Davy Clan, it was like they said like, oh, they're an actual existential threat to us, basically. And they were also the disdain they had for it, it was almost like a traitor, a betrayer. And that would imply you can't be a traitor unless you're in the group, right? Like you have to be on the inside. And so if this is like a remnant that Davy, invented or something for them or created, or he's the thing and they had it, it could even be that the traitorous part is that like he self-sacrificed, he died, right? And so they can't do more Davy deep sea stuff. Like, and also we do know that they are limited. They are limited to only 13 things. That might not be by choice. That might be by design or by betrayal. It could be something like that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think this is one of the first like direct things we could say that Emu like is supposed to be Umi, like the ocean, the sea. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we had like sea
Mm-hmm.
levels rising, but I think this is like a shoe in. I love it.
Yeah.
I think this
Yeah.
is a really great thing that Oda dropped in here. And with this, I feel like the connection to Emu is going to be so apparent that I wouldn't be shocked if Emu ends up being the rain god, or the sea god,
Mm.
or potentially the moon god.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, something there. I'm
something
just
there.
waiting to see what the actual difference is, because in this dialogue, they're basically saying, and Harold did, Oda gave the, dialogue I think is the most important that I think would have been asked, like, wait, what do you mean by God? And then they're like, yeah, you'll only know that once you're on. It seems like to say that, like, I don't know. I think it sound like, for me, it sounded like, oh, like, you only know when you're Gorosei, but obviously we know that the Holy Knights know about Emu. So,
Yeah,
um,
it looks like
so
yeah,
deep
tier
sea level.
2 and above, you learn about Emu.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't care about that because we could have figured that out without the contracts. I want to know what, like, what's the actual like, what do you, are you, is it like Black Clover Grimoire, like one clover, one leaf versus three leaf, and like, do you have more spells, less spells? Like, are you restricted? Like, can everyone use teleports? Can he use teleports, or does he just get missed? Like, we don't really get an understanding of what tier 1 versus tier 3 is yet. I'm hoping the next chapter gives us more, especially because it is kind of important to know for the other guy who gets inducted into this Hall of Fame. But yeah, it is interesting that they this is the route. This is the route that Harold has this thing, and it makes sense too from a Loki perspective, because they don't, when the God Knights show, when Shamrock and Gunko show up, it's very apparent that, one, they don't know that Harold is dead, and then two, that they don't know that Loki, like, where he's at, whatever. Like, they ask, but even without like anything, they offered him the Holy Knight thing. And that's a kind of nuts scenario. But it would make sense if they were going off of the idea that Harold was pro Holy Knight. So surely his son is pro Holy Knight. But
Yeah,
obviously that wasn't the
you see like
case.
the potential in him, and like, oh, actually, your dad was freaking awesome. Dude, we loved your dad. You want to join us,
Yeah.
brother? Like,
Yeah.
if
What's wrong
anything, I
with
kind of
you?
feel more bad for Shamrock now. He probably thought he found like a good friend.
Yeah, especially after this chapter, they're like, oh, there's another son of a Holy Knight that I can relate to, and then he's seeing Shanks in Loki. That's probably what it is, and he's just like, oh, I couldn't beat Shanks with two arms, and I've been chasing after the one-armed guy, but this Loki guy, he's tied up. I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to,
Yeah,
three
I'm
shot
gonna
him.
take him right now.
Yeah, and yeah, make him take months to recover.
Yeah, he'll never recover from this, according to Gerd. Which also, we're gonna
Yeah.
skip ahead real quick. The Gerd thing is so funny because what Hyruden leaves to save Ida, and he's like, oh, they're looking for a doctor, and then somebody was like, bro, there's a doctor right next to you. And they're like, well, yeah, but she's an Elbaf doctor, and Elbaf doesn't have the medicine. But it's like, yeah, but it's still, she's getting diffed, man. It's so funny.
And that isn't that long ago.
Yeah, was it that? I mean, it's like what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, but like, So she become a doctor in the last 15 years? Is that might be it? It might be that like Hired needed a doctor, and Gerd, was just like, I'll become the doctor, Hired, so
Oh
that you never
yeah.
have to go through this trauma ever again.
Yeah. Gerd locks in after this. There we go.
Oh my god, it makes so much sense, because when you look at Gerd as a doctor versus every other like prominent doctor in the thing, it's like Dr. Greha is like cured. Chopper makes drugs, fixes it instantly diffuses like a plague. Queen develops everything. Gerd is like the most realistic doctor, to the point that I think that she's just faking it. She's calling herself a doctor and just telling like, oh, they'll recover like months from now. And it's like, yeah, if you just put them in bed rest for 8 months, I hope they would heal, right? And maybe that's just telling Hired like, yeah, let's just leave them here and hope for the best. Like, she's not actually a doctor. I'm getting poisoned by your theories. Those brain rot laws,
The brain
backstories,
rot
and
ones are
real.
so good.
Yeah,
You're
Gerd
welcome.
isn't an actual doctor. I'm getting poisoned. This is
Thank
it.
me
This
later.
is the brain rot.
Yeah. Thank me later.
Patient zero. I meet patient zero of
Yeah.
the disease.
So let's see here. What do we got next? Oh yeah. One more thing about this whole finagle is that it looks like Elbaf might actually become a member nation. Like, I remember at first I was like, oh, they're gonna like, lead Harald on. They're never gonna do it. But it looks like they were actually planning to. Like, I don't sense deceit in this room. Like, they actually do like Harald. They do want Elbaf to become a nation. So he must have actually fumbled within this year somehow.
Yeah, I don't really see the jet. He goes, naturally, Harold. At that point, the entire world would be clamoring to welcome you. Meanwhile, it's like, this is 15 years ago. He had what, like a? Oh no, he dies the next year,
Yeah,
right?
he dies the very next year. So something
Oh,
happens. Because, like, yeah, like, Saturn's laying it on thick. But, I mean, he really has been working for them for a long time. He actually got the mark. They're talking about him getting the next mark and learning about God. It's like, oh, like, I don't think they're, like, memeing on him. And then plus, he's not a
actually,
slave. He's hanging out with the God Knights. So it's like, yeah, like, I do think he literally would have gotten Elbaf there, but just maybe he wakes up and smells the roses this last year. Maybe they ask him to do something. He's like, oh, I can't do that. I do think it is more on Harold's end than the world government at this point.
well, then there's two things here. Well, okay, so we do have the Holy Knights there pointing at the. Like, I don't think that they would be mad at any nation having a school and library, right? But that was a very distinct, like, betrayal. So I don't know if they
But
would be genuine based off of that. But the other part that I think
Harold is
is
kind of dumb. Like just the rebuttal on that real quick.
mhm.
Harold, when he's asking Saul to build a library, it doesn't look like he's doing that to undermine the world government. He genuinely just looks like a guy like, oh, library? Like, let's do it, man. A school?
Well,
Yeah,
not
come
library,
on.
school. The library's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
The
still, like, what I'm
school.
saying is that, like, it doesn't look like he's trying to undermine the WG at this point in time. Like, I feel like if they asked him not to
Right.
build it, he probably wouldn't have built it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. He didn't know, so it's not a
Like,
direct
look at
betrayal.
the
But
panel
my
where he's
thing is
asking
like,
Saul. He looks like
but
just a puppy dog.
But my point is that I don't think that they would what like Goa or any member nation, but
Yeah.
like Sorbet. I don't think that they don't have schools. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a betrayal for any
Oh yeah.
state that we've seen to have a school. So that's why I think that Elbaf was always different. And I think the main line that actually does stick out to me is it says at that, and this one could be wrong, but I'm saying at that point the entire world would be clamoring to welcome you. And I don't know how true that is, because holy knights aren't known. So do the world isn't clamoring for holy knights?
I
It's
mean,
not
nobody
like the
clamoring to
Garland.
have the Giants on their side. Because, I mean, Elbaf would become a member nation. And
Right,
he's the
but like
king.
he's no, but like here's the thing. If at that point, right? Okay. He's saying, what do you mean by God? You only come to know, what's the line before that? Consider yourself the right hand of God's knight. Talking about it. Oh no, I think this is after this. Naturally, Harold, at that point, the world would be clamoring to welcome you. I'm just kind of curious because then it's like no, there's no precedent for that other. I mean, and Egghead started that whole conversation, like how do you become a celestial dragon? But if it's this easy, sure. We do have like Gunko is an interesting spot, but if she is from Brooke's country, then or kingdom, I don't know if that bodes well for that kingdom. But the thing is, it's like the fame of not just the Holy Knights, but the work that he's doing. The entire thing is that the Gorosei's giving him to keep everything secret, right? So like it's not his actions won't be public.
But
His
Elbaf becoming a member
participation
nation would be public though.
no, but he's saying naturally it would be naturally, Harold, at that point the entire world would be clamoring to welcome you. And he's saying in line of your devotion to the god stuff, right? But then thereafter he goes, keep your like your our dealings are secret, but also this is the questionable part. I don't know how public the god knights are to the world, so the world wouldn't be clamoring. That would be a two that
Maybe it
from
would be
both
public.
ends.
We don't like you said, we don't know too much about the God Knights. They could be public for all we know because they do
That would
just
be
travel
wild.
around.
That
But
would be
also just
wild.
like if you hear that, the king of Elbaf has been hanging around the world government, even if it's like in secrecy, you just hear about like, oh yeah, like Harold is now welcomed into the world government. We now have the giants by our side. I think the world would clamor towards that. Like, oh, giants
No,
are
but
no
here's the
longer
thing.
enemies. Like that's beautiful. Hell yeah.
Here's the thing though. Elbaf is also in the dark. Like this is so much of a secret. Harold's own constituents are in the dark, and it would require the Gorosei. Because think about this: prior to this moment, the world government has been slandering Harold in the news every chance they get. They've been instigating the slander through Cipher Poll. We saw that, and so that won't continue, but it doesn't get reversed afterwards because it's not like they're posting, "Oh, God Knight saves nation." Like
They're
again,
probably gonna
that's
start like
it,
making fake stories like, oh, the Giants are helping rebuild this small town, or ooh, look at the Giants doing this with us. Oh, look at these giant Marines.
I would love for that to be the case because then it would be like they would be very interesting because the other half of the whole thing with giants is like the world is in our timeline very obscured by it, right? It's very odd when we get a situation where there's positive PR happening, but as the story stands right now, like Stelly's reaction makes sense because the world government has been painting Harold as a savage monster who can't control himself up until like 16 years ago. And so it's kind of that part makes sense. And if they were to start reversing that, I would imagine if they were doing that in that year that Harold is operating here, because I'm also thinking like a year of Harold doing this, and he was doing the beck and call, like I don't know why they were ordering him to hit fishermen, but the fact that like that was secret after a secret, like I don't know if they're being genuine here. It's kind of interesting, especially given Emu's dialogue with Rocks on God Valley, right? Emu is basically like this um there's no better opportunity than now to have a like basically calling him a useful idiot is just like this guy is basically bending over backwards anyways. There'll never be a better chance to abuse them. And Rock sees through that, right? So I think like another angle is God Valley. Emu straight up said like, yeah, no, like I'm gonna take them over. Like it's not the same
I
thing
mean,
as
to be fair,
anybody
I think
else.
Emu might see a lot of his constituents as useful idiots. I don't think it stops at Harold. Like, how do you think Emu feels about the celestial dragons he's surrounded by? Maybe not like some of the God Knights or Gorosei, but like the people around Emu. He's probably, yeah, look at these dummies, dude. I mean, he feels the same way about
Yeah,
the
I think
Marines, even.
I that is a fair point. I do want to see Emu's perspective on not just that, like Celestial Dragons, but it does go up to Saturn, right? Like the dialogue between Saturn and Emu, and it's not really like a two-way street. And then even when the Gorosei are like they're in reverence, so that's automatically a power dynamic that is not fair. And to that extent, Emu doesn't need to be respectful to them, doesn't need to care about them. I think the questionable one is Gunko, right? Because Gunko is the most, it feels like the most mortal of the ones that we've seen. Like, obviously we have Shanks now and Harald now and all this stuff, but the other ones are kind of obscured lineage wise, right? We're told Gunko is man-mare, so I guess like it's kind of the same, but like we don't really have the background on that. Um, whether like adopted and whatever is put into thing. Now the God Steel thing is more spread out because apparently Harald and Gunko are the same thing, but it's not like Harald is sitting in the chamber flower room, like dealing with Emu. So I don't know. That is a fair point about Emu's respect to the other people. Like, is the dialogue that Rox and Emu had something that Emu would say to any other race that was as important as the giants? And like to that point, the humans are just all insects. That's fair. But then it's like, what's the difference between Saturn and like Bonnie, right? Like, what's the difference between Saturn and we know Bonnie's half celestial. Saturn calls her an insect, but then is Saturn an insect to Emu? Is that what it is?
I don't think so. Maybe like a morsel.
A morsel.
Yeah, just switch it up a little bit.
Like clam.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? We don't know a lot about Emu and how they think yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it later, but right now it's still a mystery.
Yeah. Harald, does he get to the point of meeting Emu by the end of his life?
I think Harald will meet Emu.
So, but now this does change a lot because it very well could be that it's a King Riku situation on Elbaf in that moment we saw with Loki, where because of this mark, that means that Emu could just hijack his body, right?
Yeah, I think if Emu wanted to, they could hijack Harald's body.
So then it could just be King Riku situation on Elbaf where Harald was just locked away, like in the cuck chair, like Saturn was, where he can't talk, can't say anything. Emu's in control, and Emu's just out there slaughtering people, but then allows himself to be killed,
Possibly. I just don't know why Emu would do that yet.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, we don't know why that would be the case yet. Also because Harald being so insanely strong, right? Like you would think that you would preserve Harald, but we don't know Emu. I'm saying that because like I think it's certain like Damir Versi it didn't happen in that scene that we saw because no horns, no wings, nothing like that. But Emu is capable of taking over the body and not transforming it. We've seen that with Saturn, and Gunko's hair grew, but that could just be like a girl thing. Like I don't know if maybe if Oda extended that panel with Saturn on the boat, we just see like his hair's like to the ground. But at the moment, it's kind of likely that oh, that'd be kind of nuts. Emu takes over Harald and he grows his hair back.
Oh yeah. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. I would like that. Harald looked dope, but yeah. Ever since that mark thing changed so much. That mark changed a lot.
I don't know if Emu would take over Harald in that moment when he died. Like I feel like Harald just naturally blundered, or Harald wanted to die. It's gonna be something else. I don't think he got possessed.
I'm just saying. There's like because the mark is there, it's possible.
Oh yeah, it is possible. I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it might be unlikely still, given what we know of right now on the relationship. Next chapter that could change, but right here, I mean, Harald is working as earnestly as possible. It looks like the Gorosei are pretty pleased with them. The God Knights are pleased with them. I don't know why Emu would just say, "Oh, let's take over Harald and kill him." Like there's got to be like something in between that we're missing. And speaking of that, which this will bring us to the next big topic, but we see Shangara, the Domain of Gods, a brand new location. Rumor has it this could be where the Lunarians lived, and then the God Knights took over, which would be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But yes, Shangara's here. We see Saint Garling aged up a little bit. We see Somers and Shamrock, and Garling gives King Harald a long-distance transponder snail. And that is when we cut over to Fishman Island. And we hear about King Neptune wanting to marry off his unborn daughter. And King Harald is like, whoa, 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 she's not even born yet. It's going a little bit too far. And plus, she's going to be, Mosa, Shaggy. Is Shirahoshi Mosa? We've talked about this before. I think we were both really skeptical. Has this chapter changed anything for you? Do you think it is Shirahoshi? Are you still skeptical? Where are you?
I am skeptical, but it isn't like, oh, it's not Shirahoshi, guys. I'm more skeptical in the sense of like, is Shirahoshi the only option still? That's where I'm skeptical. If it's Shirahoshi, by this mention of it and the dialogue that we saw, I could see it. It'd be simple. It would just be like, oh, I mean, the fact that Neptune did the weirdest thing of like preemptively betrothing her unborn daughter to Loki is a very interesting choice. But the reality, putting it into context, it would be that like that event that happened that Loki was like, I would have leveled this place. It would have just been referencing the Reverie where like a celestial dragon like manhandled Shirahoshi, and Loki was like, oh, if I were there, I would have leveled the entire place. Which is, unironically, that's what Harald also did in the intro with rocks. Like they actually leveled 5 kilometers of Marie Geoise. So it's like Loki wouldn't be that would be a real scenario, to be honest. And that was something that a lot of the characters there wanted to do. And Leo and Sai were, they did take action. So I could see that. I think the craziest part, if it would be Shirahoshi, the craziest part, and I like it. This is why I'm like, I'm fine with it. It would just be that by the end of the conversation, Shiroshi's like, you've given me like the courage to do something now. And that is insane for an ancient weapon, the only ancient weapon we know of, to be like, I have the bravery now. I'm terrified. I'm immediately terrified for everyone because I don't know what that means. And Shirahoshi, it'd be like if Momo started crashing out with Zunisha, but like hundreds of Zunisha, thousands of Zunishas. Like if Shirahoshi wanted to, she could do a lot of damage. Does she have, what does it mean? What do you have the courage to do? Are you going to go find that slave guy who was manhandling you and beat his ass up? Like, what does this mean if it's Shirahoshi? And regardless of what it means, I think it does lend itself to that whole emergency that's happening at Marie Geoise. But that would be also nuts if we're just immediately jumping back to Marie Geoise. The emergency that I'm talking about is an ancient weapon is crashing out. And I don't even know what that would mean, because isn't the whole point of Marie Geoise being up there is that the Sea Kings like can't really get there that easily? But yeah, I guess they could like shake the wall,
slam their heads against the wall.
Yeah. If the Sea Kings are like, you want us to hit the Grand Line, she's like, is that possible? And they're like, anything for you, my sire. And then they just start self-sacrificing at the wall. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe that's something that they would do. But they also seem very smart and sentient because they were like conversing on how to fix the Noah. So it'd be like, yeah, Shirahoshi, might I suggest we don't break it with our faces? How about we just like send a message? We can do that much for you, Shirahoshi. And like anything between where we're at, where Shirahoshi's doing nothing, and the ultimate level where she's fully activated, cool, right? That's why I'm not mad at it. The part that I'm like a little interested in is like the part where the misdirect could be, is that like Roger said the same thing too before she was born. He was just like, oh, she's gonna be shaggy just like you, Neptune. And he's like, she's not gonna be hairy like me. And then she gets born, she's not shaggy. So it's like, maybe the person that Mosa's referring to is the shaggy guy who's actually shaggy, which could be Neptune. And that could make sense too, because then he could be talking about the same event. He could be like, yeah, like I was trembling in like anger when he said like I was trembling for that moment. I'm still trembling from that moment, thinking about my daughter being a slave or whatever. Like that dialogue still fits. And but the dialogue where's the Jamones, right? Like, where's
Yeah,
that?
where's the
That's not there.
Jamones? And then plus, like, Neptune in general, like, I feel like he wouldn't talk like Mosa or be as timid
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Mosa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
exactly fit
Unless
either.
he's like oohing, you know what I mean? Like that'd be kind of funny, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But now rereading this dialogue, we'll keep a long distance transponder snail on hand. Call if we have a need of you. Um, so like so then if if they are calling to Ryugu Kingdom with the Denden Mushi, like it doesn't have to be this one, but is that snail the same thing, or it's not the same thing, right?
It
Like
shouldn't be.
there's another Denden Mushi there, right? That's on Elbaf probably. That
Yeah,
has a
because the Denden
direct
Mushi
line.
that Loki's using is a snow-resistant transponder snail.
Yeah.
So if that's the long distance one, then it's like a 2-for-1, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
like the
Which I
snail just
wouldn't put it
adapted to
past.
become snow-resistant.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't if the world government, if there's anything, like, listen, after God Valley, we got to get some W's over there. If Saturn's been cooking up adaptive Denden Mushi's awesome. I've been waiting for
We
Saturn
need
to get a
it.
W.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the whole Shirahoshi mindset, like it could work. I'm just hesitant to say it's confirmed, which I held the poll, and a vast majority of people are saying, yeah, it's confirmed, like it's all here. And it's like,
Mhm.
sure,
I
and this
don't
isn't the
blame
first
that.
time that like Oda's done the Mosa thing with Shirahoshi, because he did this with Roger, which is
Yeah.
where the theory first spawned.
Right.
But it's like, okay, if it is Shirahoshi, there's a lot of things we have to explain. Like, how did we get the Denden Mushi to her? Because literally, like, shortly after she was born, her mom dies, and then Shirahoshi's like locked into a tower when she's like 6 years old. And for the past 10 years, she's been in that tower and had no contact with the outside world. How did we get a Denden Mushi to her hardshell tower in that meanwhile? And plus, Loki said that he's
Yeah.
never met Shirahoshi. And plus, the whole thing about her being Shaggy, it's like, okay, will Loki know that? Because Loki, we don't know if he's visited Fishman Island. Maybe he did, but Neptune is the one who's Shaggy. So it's like, so he must have met Neptune, said, oh, you're Shaggy, your daughter must be Shaggy, I'm going to call her Mosa. That must be the mindset. And then
Yeah.
he must have given Neptune a transponder snail, and then Neptune gives it to Shirahoshi. Loki gets captured, and somehow he still has that Denden Mushi. And then it's weird because Loki said, oh, by some happenstance of fate, we become good friends. It's like, okay, but is that really fate then? Like, that's, you set this up.
Yeah.
And then the whole
Yeah.
thing
And
about
then
like, oh, like, traumatic event, sure. St. Charlos, Vanderdecken, those both work. But Shirahoshi, like trembling in fear. I feel like she was scared, but it wasn't like a big thing because it got solved like almost immediately. And then Loki almost insinuated that
well, it happened
whatever it
twice.
was, it happens often. Because, Shirahoshi's in danger, quote, Shirahoshi's in danger. And Loki's like, oh, that nasty thing you're talking about, it came up again, didn't it? It's like, wait, celestial dragons aren't here. And then it could be Blackbeard. I think Blackbeard is like the most plausible route going after the ancient weapons. But then we'd have to say, okay, Elbaf time dilation theory is a thing because Caribou just arrived to Blackbeard like during Elbaf. And then like, okay, let's say 3 days passed in one day, Blackbeard is there. Then why would Oda lead us into this mindset where something is reoccurring, right? Like there's a lot of like weird things we have to explain. And then even with Shirahoshi, it's like what you said, like, oh, I now have the courage to do this. It's like, wait, would Shirahoshi say that? And then plus, another thing is Luffy. Shirahoshi loves Luffy. She'd probably talk about her savior. Why would Loki not know about Luffy beforehand? And also vice versa, why would Shirahoshi not tell Luffy about Loki? Because they've been talking for a long time. They mentioned that. They've been talking for a good minute. Loki's been chained up for a year, or for 6 years. They could have been talking for 6 years. But for some reason, Shirahoshi doesn't mention. People are saying, oh, she's good at keeping secrets. But it's like, why would you keep this a secret from Luffy or Neptune? Like, I feel like it wouldn't even be a secret because they would know, because somebody must have given you the Denden Mushi.
Yeah.
And the way Shirahoshi worded it, it's like, oh, Megalo is the only person she had to talk to back during the Hardshell Tower days. And it's like, I mean, is that the case? Like, I don't know. And then the whole thing about like, did Loki just start talking to her when he was captured? Because if that's the case, that's also like odd. Like that means that the Denden Mushi was just waiting there. And then Like, if Loki was out and about, and let's say he was at Fishman Island, why didn't he just go look for Vanderdecken and beat him? Because he probably could have. I mean, which is crazy. Vanderdecken, the most wanted man, he's not like far from Fishman Island. He's like literally like slightly off the coast with like giant sea animals. But yeah, I just feel like it could work. There's just a lot of things that need to be explained.
Yeah, for me, the main thing is like, like in the Denden Mushi, because if this is timeline wise, when he meets Harald, that's or Neptune and Harald meet. That's 20 years ago. So Shirahoshi gets born 4 years from now.
Yeah.
So and Harald dies a year from now, right? No, Harald dies 6 years from now, right? So there's a 2-year overlap, and Shirahoshi is 6 when she gets put into the thing because Vanderdecken hasn't touched her yet, right? So she gets born, whatever. I think the was it 12 years or 14 years? I'm forgetting the Otahime dying thing because it's after Otahime dies that Shirahoshi's put in the thing. So then, like, when do their conversations? Because and then Harald dies 14 years. So if that lines up, right? It's like Loki doesn't leave until after Harald dies. So for him to personally get it, it would be after Harald dies, after Otahime dies. Shirahoshi's inside the thing, which would explain how he's never met her. He goes sees Neptune. And for me, that's where I like stopped when on the stream because people were walking me through it, and I'm like, I really don't vision a world where Loki lets the whole Vanderdecken situation slide, because it's like, I'm gonna talk to your daughter in the scope of like marriage or whatever. Where is she? Oh, I locked her ass up because there's this crazy guy and he's like, what? I feel like Loki would just kill him. Like, I feel like that would just happen. And like, okay, fine, he does it. He walks away. And then he gets like a phone call from a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, and is just like, I'm so scared, and there's knocking on my tower every day, and Loki's just like, what? And then also he's on these seas for that time until like 6 years ago when Shanks puts him back on Elbaf. So like then I'm also like, wait, like how does he start talking to her once he gets back to Elbaf and then they do that? Because that could make sense. But then I'm also wondering, like, okay, then how did Loki get the Denden Mushi if it wasn't with him? Was it there originally? And then like that's like you're saying, like it have to be explained. And then also Luffy part, because if they've been talking recently, we don't even have to think about the other parts. We have to go back to look at the conversation Loki had with Luffy at the very beginning, and then look at that with the frame of references. It would only make sense if Shirahoshi, who knows Luffy's name, and their island has straw hats being worn all over. Surely Shirahoshi has mentioned some part of this. She couldn't keep it quiet at Marriage Wa. The moment she heard Luffy being mentioned or anything, like it was on, she had no qualms of just bringing it up. And so it's like, I would imagine, hey, Shirahoshi, you sound happier these days. What went on? It's like, oh my god, it was so, I'm no longer inside the
tower
dungeon. Yeah. What? You're out of the dungeon? What happened? I thought this madman that the country couldn't stop for all these years has been throwing. What happened? Oh, my savior, my favorite person in the whole world. He promised me. And then at that point, as a dude, you're just hearing another dude come into your girl's life, and you're just like, who is this dude? Loki's never asked, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things, you're just hearing your girl getting swooned by this like tiny person, and it's like, I'm sure Loki figured that it's Luffy, so then you have to look at the conversation Luffy and Loki had. It maybe there is an understanding that Loki, like maybe we look back and we're like, oh, it does make sense that Loki does know who Luffy is already. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of intriguing elements to it. I don't think it's not explainable, but I'm where you're at. I think it's like, yeah, I could see it. It's possible. But I don't know
skeptical
if it's the only thing. And I guess the beard on the Denden Mushi is just the weather related part then,
Yeah, and then
100%.
like just the whole thing of like, okay, so this must mean if we're going with this route, that means that Loki met King Neptune and then just said, "Oh, your daughter must be Mosa as well. She's hairy." And he just never like goes with that name. He just calls her a Mosa. It's like
Yeah.
it's
And then
interesting.
also Shirahoshi, if Shirahoshi likes Loki, right? Then like when she tells Vanderdecken, "You're not my type," right? Like it's
Just say like
is
there's
it
another
because
guy.
like
I don't know.
yeah, I
It's
already have someone, right? Is that the play? If that is the play,
maybe.
sure, but I don't know. It didn't ever feel like Shirahoshi like was like that. So it could be like a that wouldn't be a retcon, but it would be like a idea that Oda didn't fully flesh out and he thought of it later and didn't
So
really offend the
to
story.
give you the scope, I made the poll 12 hours ago. Is
Uh-huh.
Shirahoshi actually Mosa? 5,000 votes. 74% say yes, it is Shirahoshi. And
Hmm.
then only 26% said no, it is not Shirahoshi. And it's funny because I held this same poll I think like 5 months ago or like a year ago. And
Yeah.
Shirahoshi garnered very little votes at all. So like within
Yeah.
the span of one chapter, this flipped hard.
Yeah. And I understand why. I understand it.
Yeah.
Um, it's just that like something feels off. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying these are the same things because it's very different. Um, but remember when I mean it was mad funny. Everyone there was one guy whose his only comment the entire stream was Par Mosa is Ange. And I'm not gonna entertain that angle right now, but what I am gonna entertain is the whole Ange is evil. You know, like you if you entertain anything other than that for the first like 4 chapters of Ange, people are like, you're if you held a poll, it's like a lot of people could see that, believe it, whether or not they think that's 100% the case, right? Like, and I feel like the dissonance, it's like, yeah, Ange is a background character, we didn't get a lot of focus, but something didn't feel right about it being straight up evil. Like she's the like you had to scale Ange up to like the mastermind of Elbaf connect with
That'd
the
be
Holy
so fun. I
Land
love that
for
still.
all of
Thank
it
you
to like
guys.
line up. She was there when
Okay.
Harald died. Like the lineups that people had for Ange, it's almost the same with the Shirahoshi thing, not to the same extent, obviously, but that's where it's
The
like
same amount of twisting to an
something.
extent.
Yeah,
Like
it's not
right
the same
now,
degree though,
I'm looking at the polls from 5 months ago. Is Moses somebody we know? 7,000 votes. 42% of people say yes, it's somebody we've met. 58% say no, it's a brand new character. And then right beside that, I put who is Mosa? Is it somebody in Elbaf? Which that got about 50% of the votes. Um,
I understand that.
then I
That made
put
a lot of
Revs,
sense.
which got 15% of the votes because people associated it with the Marie Geoise fire. Then I
Hmm.
put just the random pirate 5%, and then Shirahoshi or Celestial Dragon. This is a combination one because people said it could be like a
Yeah.
Celestial Dragon slave in the Holy Land.
Hmm.
That got 30% of the votes. So it
Yeah,
looks
and I
like
think for
back then people still liked the Shirahoshi idea, but you could see the shift like from 30% to like damn near
yeah,
75 within one chapter.
and I
And it's
would
like I don't blame them.
argue the Celestial Dragon pull is much stronger. I think that like there was a lot of worlds where, especially when we got the mention that Harold was at Marriagewa at some point, a lot
Yeah.
of the idea being that like oh, like there was a witness, a celestial dragon. I mean, Shanks being like whenever we got that too, I think there was a revival in that route of like somehow Mosa being like a witness to that situation. Obviously, now we have the context of this, not fully, but it's sort of there, because the the I think you and I, when we were thinking about Shirahoshi, it wasn't necessarily Shirahoshi as like the problem. We didn't go that deep into like all of this. Obviously, we didn't have that. But for us, I think we were also leaning more towards like it being someone on Elbaf or it being someone at like a celestial dragon that's related to the Holy Knights, so that it's like related to the major arc at hand where Elbaf is here and then the Holy Knights are here. So if Mosa is important and Loki has information about the Holy Knights before, because that was the other thing, right? He said something along the lines of, if I saw these guys at sea, I would have been king of the oceans or something, like the king of the pirates, the king of the world. That's what he said. And so that implies that he hadn't met the Holy Knights, yet he already knew that Shamrock and them were Holy Knights. So then it was like, okay, so Mosa being an information pool that we don't know about, if they had information on the Holy Knights, or there was someone above in Elbaf that like was dealing with Harald and the world government, because at the time we didn't know how isolated Harald was, it made sense for us to think that route, right? So like that's where another thing comes into play. It's like, what is the ramification if Shirahoshi is it Shirahoshi goes to Merdra, or does Shirahoshi come to Elbaf, right? Because that's another route, right? Does she go like, don't, no, but she says like, you won't hear from me for a little bit too, right?
Yeah, like when it comes to Mosa's dialogue, the one thing that really fits is how timid they are. And the whole thing where they say, please don't shout, because Shirahoshi does say that to Luffy. Like, oh, please don't shout, Luffy. I don't like when you yell. But aside from that, everything else doesn't feel like Shirahoshi dialogue.
I disagree on the traumatizing event, but I understand where it's coming from. And for me, that last part of like, you won't hear from me for a while. After this chapter too, it's like, damn, she's hitting him with the parent trauma, because that's what Harald said too. He leaves, you won't see me for a while, guys, and he just leaves, goes, offers himself to slavery, and then becomes a Holy Knight. And then if Shirahoshi's Mosa, she unironically just hit Loki with the most traumatizing line of, you won't hear from me for a while. And Loki's like, no, not again, not the person I care about the most. First Ida, then Harald, now you too. Like,
and I don't know why, like, even to this very day, I still feel like Mosa's a guy. Like, the dialogue feels very, like, guy-coded.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I always felt like it was, like, there was, like, I don't, obviously don't think it's, like, Ida, obviously, but there was a moment in time when I was like, hey, and this is before we had the Loki flashback and anything, I was like, Loki having mommy issues makes a lot of sense. Mosa is playing off that. So either it's genuine or not. And if it's genuine, boom, it's Hayden's real mom. And we didn't have Ida then. Yeah. And then we got Ida. And then we got all that dialogue where Loki's like not liking Ida, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, guys, he's in a fold by the end of it. And this chapter shows that. And I'm like, if she was masquerading, like prior, not obviously not this chapter in context, prior, I was like, if she was masquerading like Loki getting the mommy part without associating it with whatever reason why he doesn't like Ida, could make a lot of sense. Obviously in this chapter fully makes it impossible, like it's not Ida, obviously. But I always felt like there was like a female part to it, and I don't like, I'm not saying that can't.
I could see it being a girl. I just feel like initially I was like, it feels like a guy.
Yeah. It's just, I'm not mad at, like, the thing is, like I said, in the worlds where it's Shirahoshi, that makes the story exciting, because that means an ancient weapon is being activated, and I'm all for that. I want to see Shirahoshi crash out. And I'm excited to see where she crashes out. So if that's the route we go, I'm welcome to Oda explaining. Hey, don't get me wrong. The thing that Oda has still left out is Loki's love life, which is actually how we got introduced to him. We got introduced to him via Lola and her not choosing Loki, which was insane, because she wanted a handsome strong man, and that, like, Absalom was like, elephant, like, toughness, lion face, rhino skin, like he was the man, that thing that she was going after apparently. And then she falls in love with the Gatling guy from Beige's crew, right? And he's big and strong and whatever. But Yeah, like Loki is Mr. Universe. Like, there's not a single dude on the planet, not even his dad, I don't think, that like the moment we got that Loki panel, guy, girl, every person who's reading the chapter was drooling a little bit, like, yo, Loki's
Oh
kind
man,
of
I
cool
don't know.
looking.
And I'm looking at the
What?
dialogue right now where Mosa's like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to talk for a while." Like, even if
Yeah.
Blackbeard was attacking Fishman Island, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that would cause Shirahoshi to not talk for a while, because it's not like she's going to the front
Right.
lines,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So it would be that Shirahoshi, like, that's the Blackbeard angle. Like, if she's being on the defensive thing, right, and she's staying in Fishman Island, that wouldn't make sense. But if she's going on the offensive angle, it could make sense. But you just bring the Denden Mushi.
Yeah, you
But so
bring the
then on
Denden
the
Mushi, but also like Shirahoshi hasn't really been known for offense though. Like even with their powers, like she hasn't mastered it. She doesn't really know how to use it. She
well,
just
we don't
cries
know.
out and then boom, they show up.
That's the thing. The thing is, the mastering part isn't necessarily a difficult thing. She's
Yeah.
able to converse with the Sea Kings. All it is it's the same thing with Momo, right? Momo is just like, hey, Zunia should do this. It's not that hard to master it. It's like
Yeah.
Momo just needed to get the pass where he got a headache from conversing with Zunisha.
I'm
And he
just
did.
saying that
And
like
then,
Shirahoshi wouldn't be like egging to go to the front lines and say, "Ooh, I can do this." Is what I
well,
mean.
that would be why that conversation with Loki is so important, right? Because she was like okay, if this is Shirahoshi, right?
Yeah.
The turning point would be the from Luffy to Shirahoshi, right? In the same vein of us saying that Jinbei could have handled Fishman Island, so could Shirahoshi if she just used her power, right? And Luffy's whole thing was that you're a wimp. You don't do anything, right? Because if Shirahoshi did, then it would be solved without Luffy. And that was very apparent by the end of the arc when Luffy couldn't solve the issue without basically dying. And Shiroshi's just like, all right, Sea Kings, fix it. And if she just called the Sea Kings and Hody was crashing out, Sea Kings could have just ate Hody. Like, Sea Kings could have just mentally blasted his ass. They did show up inside as well. Like, and they took the ship right out of the jaws. They could destroy the slums as well. They could. That's where Hody was. So like by the end of it, we saw Shirahoshi not only on the offensive, but she took damage. Like she was defending Luffy. She took cuts even more than her brothers, right? The one brother did fight, right? Or they all fought, but like Shirahoshi was on the front lines there. That was the character arc, right? But then here, the line here, is this the right chapter that I'm in? No, no, this isn't the right one. Um, it's the first time they talk. It is, oh God, what chapter is it? It's 1134. Okay, yeah. It's here when Shirahoshi or Mosa goes uh was it go it goes da, 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 da. If I were there in your place, I would raise it to the ground. Uh I thank you. I've realized recently that those fearsome words of yours hide your kindness. And
Yeah.
so that part is the turning point where it's like if Shirahoshi just sees violence for violence, right? And not realizing that like Loki's violence comes from a place of good. Like violence can come from a good place. And the turning point would be Luffy, right? Luffy's not a pirate who's evil or whatever. He had to use violence to protect everything. And it didn't take Shirahoshi just not saying anything about Hody this entire time. She saw how that festered and created Hody. There needed to be an offensive. And it's not kind to not do anything. And so that would be, oh, now I see how someone as violent as you, Loki, is actually kindness. And Loki was like, stop saying that. That's not true. What would be the realization? It would be Luffy, right? She would be like, oh, he's kind, but he's a violent dude, right? So I could see that part to me still fits
Yeah.
because it would be, and that also fits as far as how Loki wasn't a part of that character development because he's like, why are you calling me kind all of a sudden? What happened, right? And that lends itself to maybe Shirahoshi and Loki hadn't talked since Luffy has been to Fishman Island, but that's where my confusion is, right? It's like I realized recently that your whatever is kindness, right? It's like, was that your realization because Leo and Sai defended you, and that's why, you know what I mean? Like they had to use violence in front of you too, right? Like I don't know. It's like that whole conversation again. Like how do you like avoid telling Loki about Luffy or any of the events, right? It's like if she's telling him about the reverie, surely she would tell him about how she got freed from the tower and all the circumstances to that, and she would be going on and on about Luffy, right? I think it like going back to whatever chapter, I think it's 1131, right, where Luffy and Loki talk. Um, seeing that conversation, like if it could make sense if Loki's just making fun, like, oh yeah, when does Loki say his name wrong? I wonder.
Like Luby or something.
Yeah,
That's when they first
Luby.
meet, like the chapter after they first meet, because the first chapter is just like Loki saying, "I'm gonna destroy the world."
Yeah, like I'm almost thinking like what if this was like if you frame this like he's a jealous boyfriend. He's just like he knows it's Luffy and he just like he we know that he was trolling him, right? But it was
Yeah,
also like trolling him with like Shanks and trolling him here. It could be like, "Hey, you're the guy." You know? Like that would be kind of crazy. Um that would be a really funny angle, but we have to see the transcripts, we have to see the receipts, the calls, release the
yeah.
files, release the files, Oda. Go give it to
Oh, he
us.
calls him
If
Loppy.
next Loppy.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
Loppy.
there's any world, did Shiroshi ever missay his name?
No, Shirahoshi did not.
Yeah, I
She
could
went
see
straight to
like
Luffy Sama.
if he like picture this, right, like she's going on and on about this dude and he doesn't want to like give him anything. It's like, whoa, you're talking about that Loppy guy again? And she's like, no, it's Luffy Sama, and he's just like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like that is a thing I could see, especially with his like um what is the word here, his like very uh not shallow, but like the way he resisted Ida, right? He was just like he kind of had that energy where it's like you just want our money. He was very petty. He was very petty in trying to resist it to the point where like he's gonna turn around. He's on the inside. He has this like heart of gold for her, and clearly we see that, right? So maybe that pettiness was something that like he extended to the Luffy guy he heard of Shirahoshi talking about, because he's just like, no, no, another guy saved her. If I wasn't chained to this tree, I would have saved you myself. Could be that, you
Yeah.
know?
So right now, would you put your chips on it being Shirahoshi?
Yeah, I would put my chips on it, but that's where I'm like, if it is someone else, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? I would put my
Yeah.
chips on it, but it's not like how is it not Shirahoshi? Like if that
Yeah.
ends up being the case, I'm like, I could see it. I could see it. If the amount of twists that I am asking for the Shirahoshi thing, I'm sure there's an amount of twists you could go the other route, right? Surely they're not the only shaggy people on the planet, right? There's also that
But
too.
also like the whole shagginess, it's like Loki's never met this person. So
Yeah.
it's like the shagginess is gonna have to be like secondhand. So that's why I was like, okay, it could be like a play off of their name, maybe. Kind of like how he called Luffy Loppy. But also like the Denden Mushi is kind of shaggy too.
I think it's the same thing as Roger and Harold never met.
Yeah. No, that's what I say. Like, it'd have to be a thing where he met King Neptune. Yeah. I mean, that's like the obvious like route for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like there's other ways to make Mosa shaggy work for like other characters.
Yeah, and that's where it comes to I just can't, because like what like for example, right? Like if Loki had any desire to free her himself, right? Like, and it's because he's chained to this tree. Maybe he was en route to Shirahoshi, and that's where Shanks got him. Like everywhere else, Loki was fine, but it's underwater. It's the same thing with the whole, like, technically Whitebeard Kaido. Whitebeard was underwater coming to the New World, right? And Shanks ran interference for Kaido, so it's like, where did that happen? How did Whitebeard get there? A bunch of different things. But maybe Loki also got caught underwater and Shanks got him, um, got him there. And the question mark being that, like, I just don't see how a world where Loki is present at Fishman Island while she's locked away, and the explanation is there's just one dude that's doing this to her. I like the way. Look at Loki at this chapter. Look, Loki literally was just like, all right, bet everyone died. Everyone's dying. Like, no survivors. Not even the buildings. Everything's on fire. I don't care. I don't care that you admitted that you poisoned. Everyone here is filthy. You know what I mean? And so, like, if Loki's there and he cares about Shirahoshi, if he's present on Fishman Island, then I don't see a world where we get Vanderdecken in our timeline, because he would be done, right? If Loki had 6 years, right? 14 years, and no, he had 8 years on the ocean, right? Because 6 years ago is when Shanks got him, or is it 8 years ago? I forget. The same thing. Point is that then I think the explanation would be Neptune met Loki outside of the kingdom, but I don't think Neptune ever let on that he did that, right? I don't know. Unless he has like Jinbei, like, hey Jinbei, can you deliver this to this crazy guy that's out there?
Yeah, Jinbei, can you please deliver this to Loki?
Yeah. Again, that's a twist, right? Like, because then if he's not present on Fishman Island, then the Shirahoshi situation could make sense. But that doesn't make sense, because you have to meet Neptune. He'd have to meet Neptune in order to get to the Mosa connection. That's how Harald got it. It was Harald, only seeing Harald, assuming the daughter would be Harry. So he would have to see Neptune personally. And if he goes to Fishman Island, then why would he allow that situation to extend itself? Being as arrogant and powerful as he is, and so if it's outside of Fishman Island, maybe, but that, again, doesn't really fit. So
yeah, there's a lot of things we kind of have to clear up.
Maybe it's next chapter.
Even
maybe
with the long distance Denden Mushi, right? Like, if we're saying that this is the route, then he's gonna have to get it from King Harald and then bring the Denden Mushi with them all the way to Fishman Island. And then even then, it's like Garly has the other end of it, so we're gonna have to get that part maybe, or maybe like we get just connect another Denden Mushi to that same line.
Well, I don't know if you need Denden Mushis to be like connected, because like Sabo calls like dragon from Lelucia without a specialized Denden Mushi, right? So like it's not like you necessarily.
So maybe just Shirahoshi has one, like he gives it to Neptune, and then he just has like one that picks it up.
He just I mean,
the call.
At the end of the day, we had to suspend belief for there's just a convenient ass Denden Mushi that is cold resistance that just walks up to Loki every once in a while, right? Like that part is something that we already accepted. It's like, because the reality is Shirahoshi's probably calling all the goddamn time, and then the Denden Mushi is not there.
The snail's not there.
It's just like on a tree. And then it's just yapping to the abyss, right? Like, there is a world that would be actually hilarious if we see that Shirahoshi's like just talking out loud into the thing, not knowing that there's anyone there, and this Denden Mushi is just like yapping in the forest, and then it just happens upon Loki at a certain point, and then he responds, and she's like, "Who is that? I've never had friends before." Like that would be kind of funny, but. Again, like the Denden Mushi obviously is convenient on Loki's end, because he can't have. We already gave him his hammer. We can't give him like the Denden Mushi, and the only people who are sympathetic to him is dying in this chapter or Gerd, right? Because Gerd is the one who said like, "I'm glad you found a friend," right? But like that doesn't also play well into like, because then you could say like, oh, maybe Gerd facilitated it, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense yet.
Yeah,
it's a tough one. This Mosa theory, like, it can work, it's just we need a lot of in between to like be explained.
I don't even care who it is. I just want I want, like, when they go, I can't call back for. I want that to be epic, because that's what we're getting in the story. Everything else is just backstory flashback, but like everything forward is what affects Luffy and the crew. And so I want whatever Mosa to be inspired by Loki about to be something so grand that it does matter to either Elbaf or outside. And that's where I'm like, yeah, if it's Shirahoshi, that the sky's the limit. but it doesn't have to be to affect Elbaf, and it doesn't have to be to affect Marie Geoise. So like, it doesn't, as far as me desiring a cool outcome from it, that's where I'm like, yeah, it could be Shirahoshi, but she's not the only cool character.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of people.
There's a lot of people Oda could still surprise us with here.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But either way, even if this isn't Shirahoshi, I do want Loki and Shirahoshi to have some sort of interaction. I think they will. I think that they're probably the two sovereigns that they were talking about a long time ago. I mean, I think Loki's eyes are going to be just like Shirahoshi's powers. Not like Poseidon-esque, but like it's a void century thing that's being passed down through generations. And it just so happened to be born like in this era.
That would be interesting. The only issue is that I have to go back to that Roger dialogue, but I'm pretty sure they were saying like, oh, like they're going to be born, like both of them. Like the whales are happy because the sovereign was like recent, or no, it was like, I think it was like Shirahoshi obviously wasn't born yet by the time Roger was saying that, or the Sea Kings were saying that, but it sounded like someone future, like the whales were excited for the birth, but it could be Loki. And that's the thing where it's like, the moment we get Loki's true backstory, because we haven't gotten it yet, and I don't know if we're getting it in this bout of information because we already started at the end of, or no, actually no, no, I'm completely wrong by saying that, because after Loki, Harald dies, then Loki goes out in the sea, and that's like the formative stuff that we have to see, of like where he goes, who he sees, where he interacts with, if he gets Ragnar, right? If he's pulling mythical things like Ragnar out of like, watch, we're gonna find out it's in the East Blue, like shit like that, right? Then yeah, I'd love for him to meet Shirahoshi. I'd love for us to get a moment where the whales are going nuts over Loki, and then we get that.
Dude, he's probably gonna end up piloting the Noah's Ark. I mean, I think that after Loki leaves Elbaf, the first place we could see him go is probably to Galley Ra. And if that's the case, Galley Ra is most likely needed to repair the Noah's Ark. So it's like, it could all be like a shoo-in right there. And then that's how he goes to Fishman Island. And then he meets Mosa, or Shirahoshi. Actually, I just call her Mosa now. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good ways to connect him and Shirahoshi.
And where did the whales bring the Straw Hats? After Fishman Island, the whales basically brought the Straw Hats to Punk Hazard, where we saw what seemed to be Galila. So like maybe the whales are already there. Maybe they're waiting.
Dude, it's so cursed.
Like,
so I'm at Punk Hazard right now, and that first shot where you see the frozen giants in the anime, I swear to God, I think I'm cooked, but one of them looks just like Barbell.
I'm gonna look directly at the camera. Guys, if your friends are huffing brain rot as heavy as this example right here, seek help. Call this number. We need like an ad in here. It's just like, guys, these are the signs.
Hear me out, dude.
Don't ignore them.
We know that what Punk Hazard, like, it's filled with impelled down prisoners. If Barbell ever got captured, he would be like an impelled down prisoner. And maybe he was sent to Punk Hazard for testing. So he really could be frozen in the ice with the other people.
I love the version of events where because Vegapunk's been gone for mad long, and Caesar not like doing anything there, but someone has like the protocol, like, oh, another impel down guy, let's unfreeze this like section of the ice, stick him in, and then freeze it again to get a perfect room. This is so funny. Or no. Every time they had to unfreeze everybody, and they're like, finally, we're good. And then there's like a switch, and then they freeze immediately again. They're like, nah. And then they get to pose like the most veteran person there, the guy who was first there. He's like, there's no escape. So he just, every time they freeze, he just strikes a cool pose. That would be so funny. And then like the guy who's been there next, like, oh, a new guy, just get a good pose. And then they're like, huh, what? And then they unfreeze, and the guy's like, I see what you meant. And then that's how we got that thing where the guy's like underneath, the guy who's like underneath on the ground. It's like, and then I think there's like a dude like floating, like looking over, like, too. So,
just wait, dude. When we see Galley Ra unfreeze, we're going to see Barbell right beside him. And then Barbell's going to be like, my captain told me about this.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
Here's another thing too. I don't know if anyone I didn't see anybody comment this, but I'd imagine that the greatest Mosa supporters, or greatest Shirahoshi for Mosa supporters, if they didn't use this as evidence, they should have, which was the Harley text where Shirahoshi seemingly is right next to Loki. It's like there's some like the proximity to them. It's like maybe that is specific. Maybe there's a meaning behind that then links, how that was a prophesized association, right? So like maybe like you were saying, like the two sovereigns, the powers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the Harley text, if you figure out why the Harley text is designed the way it is, then you find out the answer being, oh, like this is the connection. That's why Oda made Shirahoshi Mosa. And then along with that, now you have this chapter and all the other things too. I do like it when theories go that route where they like explain like the crux of why Oda structured something a certain way, and then the details after. But that could be a reason too, because yeah, like Luffy, Poseidon. And it's like Poseidon's not that like prominent per se. So it's like, well, this Loki looking thing is super prominent, almost more prominent than Nika himself. So it's like,
It'd be cool if Loki piloted an ancient weapon. Like his eyes were needed to like start Pluton or start Uranus or something. It's like another fuel source.
Or it's like the direction. Like where he looks. Oh,
yeah.
That's where it goes. That'd be cursed.
He'd be like a better version of, well, I don't know if better, but he'd be like Vanderdecken.
Dude,
marking people.
That'd be a very balanced power. If you have someone who's overpowered and you lock in that they have to stare at something, like they can't avert their eyes, that is a good way to lock them down. Because then they have to ignore everything behind them and the left of them to the right. Then they have to look at that, and if they don't, they fail. Everything falls apart. That's a crazy.
It's a cool ability.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if something like that happens. It could be like where he looks is that's where the whales go. and like Laboon is just stuck hitting the red line because Loki's tied to the tree facing that way.
I like to imagine Shirahoshi's trying to command the Sea Kings, like, Shirahoshi, where do we go? And she's like, I don't know. And then Loki's like, that way. And he's like looking, and the Sea Kings are like, heard. Yes, Loki.
Yeah.
Seen. Ping confirmed. Yeah, shout outs, man. What if
Loki's just a Sea King?
So I think we spent enough time on the Mosa Shirahoshi theories. We can move on now. Oh, you can stop there, Par. As far as me, when it comes to this theory, like I said, I'm lukewarm on it. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. I just need more to be explained because there's still a lot of like weird holes in it right now. And it's not like a thing where I'm trying to push my theory. Like, I don't have a theory. Like, I remember I made like an hour-long video saying, yeah, guys, I have no clue. And that was like 5 months ago. And Shirahoshi was a talking point. And it's like, even now, it's like Shirahoshi is the best candidate. But there's a lot we got to explain. Next thing we see Scott Brigabon, Ripley, King Harald, and Saul. King Harald is asking Saul to make a school. That's pretty cool. King Harald might not be aware that the world government might not like that. Then we go to a major incident 15 years ago. We got Fisher Tiger running through Marie Geoise. He just broke out of his cage. How did he do that? Probably his fishman teeth. He probably chewed through them like a monster. And
we did see that happen.
How he broke out of his cage?
No, another fishman just biting through the chains.
Oh, yeah. So it's possible. Like I said, his teeth are insane. They should put a muzzle on this guy. Blah, 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 blah. Shanks is in his pathway, but Fisher Tiger is able to beat him down.
Yo, Oda be making... Yeah, Tom did that too. He had the chain. They thought he was fine. He's just like...
Yeah, he didn't care.
Yeah.
So you need strong chains for fishermen, man. Yeah, you need...
And he's strong because...
Some good ones.
There's only two characters that's ever drawn the chapter 1 character, Shanks' blood, and it's Blackbeard, and now we add Fisher Tiger to that list. That's so white.
Yeah.
All Oda needed to do is get the bandages off. You didn't need to have him also seemingly cut his eye. I mean, I've also made the meme that like Blackbeard didn't even do it. It was Fisher Tiger that just, because like after this we see the bandages, so it's like, you know, maybe they weren't talking about the Blackbeard thing. Maybe they're talking about Fisher Tiger.
Oh
And
no.
Shanks is
I've seen
blaming
people
Blackbeard.
saying that, like, oh my god, Fisher Tiger gave Shanks a scar. It's like, well, I mean, when Fisher Tiger punches Shanks, he like grabs a part of his bandages that was on Shanks's face. So it's like, it's definitely Shanks. He already had the scar, but
that's
it's funny.
I was memeing, but it's like, I don't know why Oda made it necessary to have blood squirting off of his face too. Because like, if you put the bandage there, then we obviously know he's already injured. So it's like, yes, he doesn't get the scar from him, but it's also like, we didn't need to upscale Fisher Tiger that much. Like, I didn't need Fisher Tiger to lose to Strawberry and still damage Shanks, which is more than Kid has done, right? If Fisher Tiger over Kid at this moment.
I don't know about that. I mean, Shanks wasn't exactly trying to fight Fisher Tiger, so I feel like there's a stark contrast there. But either way, yeah, Fisher Tiger's doing all this, which it's funny because I made a Fisher Tiger video like last week about like, oh, how did he like, you know, run the fade with Marie Geoise? And then people are like upscaling Fisher Tiger because they're like, oh, he climbed the red line with his hands. And I kind of went along with it. But I was at that part of the flashback with Fisher Tiger as we spoke, because, you know, now I'm at Punk Hazard, but back then I was at Fishman Island.
Disproved that.
And yeah, I got to the part where it was disproven like a day or two after, I made that video. And it's like, yeah, the red line feat's like false. Like, he didn't do that. And even then, it's not like a huge feat anyways, but...
that was from Boa.
Yeah, that was from Boa and like Legends, but he didn't really do that. Then... All of this was just the night he attacked Marie Geoise after he broke out of his own cage.
Yeah.
The only hazy part is when he goes to King Neptune afterwards and says, hey, we're going to make things hard. But you could just be under the assumption that he talked about like the Sun Pirates becoming a thing, more so than him attacking Marie Geoise.
Yeah, no, he had already... When we get the Fisher Tiger thing, he's already coming back, because the news that everyone's talking about is that,
and it's spreading that like that day. Yeah,
and he'd gone on an adventure where he had been gone for a while, and people were just like, "Oh, he's just doing cool things. Oh,
he's doing cool things. He's awesome."
Yeah,
Fish.
And then Jinbei and them find out that he was a slave, so. He wasn't spending his time doing cool things, guys. Sorry to say.
Yeah, sorry to say. He wasn't climbing the red line. I just wish I waited like an extra day or two to like make that video. But I was living off of the Fisher Tiger hype because I made that video with Fisher Tiger because I just hit his flashbacks. Like, oh, let's talk about it. And then literally we hit that portion again, and it's like I forgot all about it because it's been so long. It's like wait. He didn't climb the red line. Fuck. Damn it. Because I was asking, and I want to ask you now: Fisher Tiger versus Kaku pre-time skip, who wins?
Bro, at this point,
because I lean towards Kaku.
Pre-time skip, like you mean post Enies lobby? Like he has a draft route?
Yeah, he has the draft route. Yeah, like after his fight with Zoro, let's say.
I mean, like this is the issue, right? Like Oda didn't give Fisher Tiger feats, and I'm not saying
he didn't give him feats. He really didn't.
Yeah, but he had the notoriety from Jinbei. Like, that's the thing. He was the captain.
People say that. They're like, okay, Jinbei was his vice captain. And it's like, okay, so Fisher Tiger should be stronger. That's not the case. Because the people that beat Fisher Tiger, Jinbei beat them.
Well, and that's another thing, too, was that the Marines were like, the one we got to watch out for is Jinbei. His strength is mythical. And so it's kind of an interesting thing because I don't necessarily think Fisher Tiger's stronger than Jinbei in that thing, because Jinbei always gets the clout, and Jinbei's always been like basically like wherever Jinbei leads, that's who's in power, kind of like. And he basically openly said like, if I wanted to, I could completely smother Odie and all of this uprising alone.
So
like, he just chose not to. And so like in many ways he is the strongest fisherman. But Fisher Tiger, it's kind of like Oda is doing some weird ass like he's this strong, but the feats are fake, but also he did do these things, but also like
it's not that he climbed up, he was there, he broke free, which is kind of impressive, but he didn't free them alone. Shanks helped him get the weapons and whatever. But then after that, it's not like Shanks is helping him. So it's like, and then after and before, the thing that I need to see is how he got captured. I think that tells me everything. Like,
and then if we're saying that like Fisher Tiger is weaker than Kaku, that's saying that Rear Admiral Strawberry can beat Kaku as well. And the thing is, right, I get that one's a dicey question, but like it leaned. I think 80% of people voted for Fisher Tiger. But so I held another poll, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I said, who would win, post Marineford Luffy or Fisher Tiger? Fisher Tiger still won that poll. People think people thought that post Marineford Luffy would lose against Fisher Tiger, and that one blew my mind. Like, Kaku, no. I can kind of get it. Like, sure, maybe, but post Marineford Luffy, like literally gear second, gear third, you know, like that version loses. Like, I don't know.
You needed to say like pre-Ruskaina Luffy, because maybe the people were thinking like the PTSD, no movement.
No,
like,
they know what I meant. Luffy. They know what I meant.
No way, dude. Post Marineford Luffy. Nah, I can't put that over Fisher Tiger. Because
people are
again,
saying
none
Fisher
of the
Tiger
feats,
wins, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Feats that Fisher Tiger did, even maximum, climbed the red line.
And
Luffy
then we saw it here, right? Like, one of the quotes
right?
was that he climbed the red line, which I found out wasn't true like the very next day.
Yeah.
And then that was fake. And then the whole thing was like, okay, he must have fought the God Knights here while he was breaking out. That's not the case either. The only God Knight he ran into was Shanks, and that's it. And Shanks threw the fight.
On his side, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, side. He might not have climbed the red line, but he probably climbed down the red line.
Okay, he's a fisherman. He can just jump into water. That's like saying, oh yes, a butterfly landed on a flower, let's give it props.
No,
like, okay, cool.
It's still like 20,000 drop. It doesn't matter if you're a fish, you're dying from that. Like, you can't just throw a fish off of a bridge, it's gonna slap the water and die.
I mean, but then again, this is anime. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna be like too impressed, like, a fisherman jumps in water.
No, but
like,
remember when Rox was just like, you're just gonna jump? And I was like, yeah, you bet. I'm just imagining all, like, Boa, all the slaves taking a boat, and they just see Fisher Tiger.
It would be so funny if Fisher Tiger didn't even like do that. He just rode the gondola down.
Yeah. Like, there's a world where that's simply what happened. But the people saying that it's post Marineford Luffy below Fisher Tiger, it has to be their viewpoint. Is Fisher Tiger fucking jumped at the red line? Like, what are you guys picturing?
Like, if Fisher Tiger was like fighting Emu up here or something, like stalling Emu, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Like, yeah, Fisher Tiger, I think he's pretty strong. But like, based off of what we have on screen, like, there's nothing that tells me that he's stronger. And if we wanted a bounty scale, which, you know, it's dicey, bounty scaling is not always like great, but Luffy post Marineford had a bigger bounty than him. Luffy post Eni's lobby has a bigger bounty than Fisher Tiger.
That people have to convince me of before we ever entertain this conversation is, does he have hockey?
Fisher Tiger does have hockey. Yes.
He has it confirmed, but like...
He has it confirmed, and we haven't seen it, but they've mentioned it.
Right, so he's in the same boat as Kid. And if we're not talking about Congress hockey, what are we talking about, right?
We've never seen Fisher Tiger with a blackened fist. And let me tell you, the funniest part is when he was fighting Strawberry. And literally while he's fighting Strawberry, when Jinbei shows up, Strawberry has no wounds. None of the Marines that have guns have any wounds. They're all still standing. Fisher Tiger's on his knees. It's like, bro, like, Fisher Tiger got no diff by Rear Admiral Strawberry, who hasn't been confirmed to be a Devil Fruit user, by the way. He's just a regular dude. And 10 gunmen.
This is what you guys have to realize, the consequences of your actions, okay? When you guys vote like this, you send Sai to do research into useless ass scenes.
I'm looking up scenarios that nobody gives a fuck about, dude. Like, people are... I remember, like, somebody said, Sai, why even ask... Somebody was, like, really mad. I don't get it. They're like, Sai, why even ask this question? What's the like, what does this necessitate from? It's like, bro, like, it's just a silly-ass question, man. Answer the damn thing, man. How about you stop complaining? Pick a damn fucking option, loser.
Yeah.
Come on.
And
Stop yapping those gums, question, man.
But like, if I'm making numbers up, but like, if 60% of you guys think that post Marineford Luffy, and you're be honest, if you're trolling, okay, admit it. Like, just vote and say I'm trolling, by the way, right? But if you're not, Sai is gonna take you genuinely, and he's gonna be like, am I the crazy person or are they the crazy person? And then Sai is gonna have to go into the panels and see the Marines have injuries after Fisher Tiger is dying. Which means he didn't do anything. And it's just like, can't armament just defend bullets that don't have hockey? Like, isn't that's a possible thing? Tekai can, right? Like,
shout outs to Observation Fisher Tiger, who can't dodge like 5 bullets, bro.
Yeah, so it's like,
and people are saying he got jumped. Yes, he got ambushed, but they didn't shoot him before they announced themselves. Like, they literally said, "We caught you, Fisher Tiger." He turned around, saw everybody, and then had a whole ass conversation before they started shooting. Like, it's not like a thing where they shot him in the back and, oh my god, he couldn't dodge.
Here's the thing, guys. Hody respected Otahime's observation hockey so much that he set up like layers to the assassination. He gave the guy a sniper. He's like, yeah, Otahime can dodge bullets. I can't just be a normal ass walk up. We've seen her dodge multiple times. We've never seen Fisher Tiger dodge a bullet.
Hasn't happened, dude.
That's my thing. Like, I get it. He has hockey. That's been said. At this point, it's the same as Kid. Does he have conquerors? I don't know. It's the same thing as Law's backstory, apparently. I mean, not really, but that's a meme for sure. But Otahime actually on screen showed us observation hockey, and to a good level. Like, the thing is, she was dodging bullets, and then the next person we saw do that was Luffy, walking up to Hody and just dodging bullets. And so, the fact that I can actually put Otahime's observation over Fisher Tiger's is try to
it's
beat
pretty
that,
insane,
guys.
man. The Kanku thing, I'll give that to Fisher Tiger just because I like Fisher Tiger. I think he's a great character, but just the feats he has on screen, you gotta admit, man, they're pretty doo-doo.
Yeah, if this was we needed this to be a serious thing, because the only part that someone can convince me that Shanks wasn't being he was going this like serious is that he did draw his sword. He did pull out his sword and he did swing it, but like, I don't know, like, it's very obvious that he's making it seem like he's trying, but that doesn't make any sense to me anyways, because if Shanks is doing that because he thinks someone's watching him and he has to make it convincing that he tried to stop him, and he had to whisper in his ear, "Go to the armory, don't mention this thing happened, you never ran into a holy knight," that doesn't make sense either.
There's a theory that Shanks only pulled out his sword because his sword did all the talking.
Bro, like, it's no. Oh, I was gonna say, we don't know that Fisher Tiger broke his own chains. Like, it's probably Shanks broke the chains too. Fisher Tiger's the only
one who did it
that we've seen. Yeah, and is Shanks like? Because when Shanks says that, listen, the armory will be left unlocked for you. I'll tell you the location, right? Does Shanks think it's more convincing if the person telling Fisher Tiger that, like, it's more believable if he whips out his sword and is about to attack and he doesn't, and he actually lets the guy scratch him, and he's like, you beat me. You're like an NPC character in a game, like, the armory is this way.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Kaku kind of did this. Speaking of Kaku, Zoro beat Kaku and he said, "Here's the key."
Yeah, but that was a legitimate, like, respect fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
Kaku loves Zoro, man. Like, that was honorable. I think out of every opponent Zoro has fought, is Kaku the most honorable?
Kaku is the least least world guy. He's a guy
we got to the point where Kaku and Jabra stopped for a minute when Zoro and Usopp are tied together, and they're like, "Hey, let's check our keys. Can we get these guys out of this situation so we can just fight them 1v1?" Like, that's kind of crazy, man. That's, yeah.
Yeah, Kaku Kaku lucked into the best undercover job ever because he likes ships, and he's like, oh, I get to be a shipbuilder, and then he's just like, yeah, I just like ships, guys, and then he's just like,
and then remember, Zoro's like, you should work at a zoo, and then Kaku literally becomes a zoo animal, like in the cover page stories. It's like, yeah,
he's
not bad.
He is like one of the most chill villains, right? Like, because he had kids sliding on him. He's like, you don't do that if you're that evil. I can't see Spandam doing that, right? And then like he genuinely, like there's not a doubt in my mind that he was a good shipwright on.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, even he said that too, right? To Usopp, he said, "Hey, we're bad guys, but let's be real. That assessment of your ship, that was like truthful, man. Like that, yeah, no beating around the bush on that one."
I'm dead ass. I wouldn't be mad. I won't be surprised if we get later on like the Buggy's crew, right? They build that ship. Yeah. We had Kaku build up the hull of this one. This one's good. This one's good. Or like they were trained under the Kaku years ago. And then like I would love that, right? Like we get Kaku like had disciples while he was there.
I mean, we can't just say Kaku though. I mean, literally like, well, Khalifa was decent. Lucci was decent. Like Cyberpole in general, I think were just decent shipwrights.
Well, Khalifa was a secretary because Oda,
but she knew her stuff though.
Yeah, she knew that they were like she was she wasn't like her sister who couldn't even make it into CP9, you know.
Like who could build a better ship, Frankie or Cypherpole?
Combined?
Yes, combined.
Cypherpole. Ooh,
Frankie, or maybe this is the next poll, the next stupid poll. Who could build the better ship, Frankie or Cypherpole all together? Even though most of them aren't shipwrights, they still have the strength and like the, you know, they're smart. If they just listen to Lucci and Kaku, I feel like they could knock out something pretty banger. Which, you know, you could say, oh, but Frankie made the 1,000 Sunny. It's his blueprints, but he had Iceberg and Kokoro. You know, he had Galley Law.
That was like Iceberg called him out on his bluff. Like he literally was like, that's not any ship, that's your ship. Like building your own ship doesn't necessarily count. We have to compare like the Wano ships, right? That Frankie repaired those. Would Kaku and
this is like this extreme diff battle. I feel like Frankie would win. Frankie would win, but I feel like I'd like the Cypherpole ship more just because Frankie's designs are very eccentric. I mean, forget the Sunny. Look at all the other battle Frankies. They're kind of crazy.
Right, that was young Frankie, but Cypherpole combined might kick ass here.
I think they make the cooler ship, but Frankie would have like the more like destructive ship though.
Frankie and Usopp repaired the Wano ships, and I'm just like, okay, let's put Lucci and Kaku there, and it's like, yeah, Lucci and Kaku would probably clean up. Those ships would be nice.
Clean up really hard, dude. Yeah, that's so funny. What a stupid poll idea,
dude. I want Lucci's story post Egghead. Like, when do we get that? That's so cool.
I feel like that's the next cover page story. To be honest, there's no way it isn't.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like, watch, Oda is gonna give us what we want, where it's like Lucci and Kaku are like in a ship fixing competition, and they get crowned the best shipwright on this side of the hemisphere. So shit, like that'd be something
just super stupid, just like a random adventure. So let's get back to the canon material, Parvision. After Fisher Tiger beats down Shanks in an extreme diff 1v1 battle, we see Boa Hancock and Sandersonia and Marigold. They're all leaving. Koala is there as well. And we learn about Fisher Tiger's legacy, which we already knew about, so we don't have to spend too much time there. We then cut over to King Harald and the God Knights the very next day. I'm assuming it's the very next day. King Harald says, it's pretty rough, man. Sommers is like, yeah, somebody opened the armory for them. I don't know who it is. And then somebody says, I can't wait to execute them. I wonder who said that. I like to imagine that's actually Shanks just hamming it up. But Garling then says, hey, Harald, there's somebody I want to introduce you to. His name is Shanks, my son. Shamrock's younger brother. He faced many hardships, blah, blah, blah. He's currently God's Steel, just like you, which is pretty cool. Confirmation that the mark we saw was indeed the mark of the Abyss. And then Harald is like, hey, I think I've met you before, which I think makes sense considering that Scotland Gabon is on Elbaf right now, and King Harald must have seen the Roger parts at some point in time. So yeah, he's probably trying to put the pieces together. But Shanks, he puts Harald in his place. Because Harald is very haughty-taughty right now, right? He's living a high. Shanks is bringing him back to reality, saying, hey, you're just a giant commoner from the surface. You're scum. Don't act familiar with me. I am with a garland. Like, do not talk to me. I'm gonna become a god knight before you. Shanks is telling the truth. King Harald is like, whoa, Jesus Christ, man. I mistook you for somebody else. Shanks looks very distraught by what he said, which, pretty hilarious. Every time Shanks says something like this, you can tell he's like, damn it. Like, even the part where he talks about, like, his experience with Roger's crew. Like, 24 years just wasted. It was fucking disgusting. It's like, oh, man, Shanks. Like, the thing is that Shamrock and Garling aren't even, like, getting spicy here. And Shanks is just going all in, like, 1,000% down. It's like, brother, you don't have to fool him right now, man. You could chill.
Yeah.
But, he's trying to be that celestial dragon guy. And he tells Shamrock that he wishes to deepen his knowledge of the Holy Land so that he could catch the traitor, which is pretty much just himself, essentially. And Shamrock, he's like, hey, man, wait till your wounds are healed. It sounds like, to me at least, that Shamrock and Garling actually care about Shanks. Like, they do like him. And it's like, man, Shanks is playing them for a fool, and I kind of feel bad for his family.
Yeah, their family mechanisms. It's like they're like, oh, we found another descendant of ours. We only cared until just now. Like,
nah, they always cared. It's just that Roger's just so foul. Just kidnapping a kid is just insane.
Well, here's the thing, though. Because Harold's reasoning for recognizing Shanks isn't explicit, but if the reasonable take is that Harald had met Roger in the years that they were active, and we know that Harald was active, which we didn't see because we got a rocks focus side, we might get a side where Harald had met Roger's crew prior, and that explains how, like, Scopper ends up on Elbaf afterwards, or, they visited. And that means he would have met Kid Shanks, who looks very different from this Shanks. And the difference between this Shanks and Kid Shanks is enough where Harald can't make a direct, confident association between the two. And then there's the guise of, surely the kid I saw in Roger's ship is not this guy who's right here, and then confirmed by the evil words that he's saying here. Because the imagination has it that, like, Kid Shanks and Buggy were probably arguing about the North Pole, South Pole in front of Harold,
like this,
and bouncing around laughing. And Harold's like, wow, these kids are hilarious.
Yeah. And it's like if I were to meet your son, like when they're older, and they're like, sit down, you filthy jungle monkey. You filthy fucking Asian, you yellow-skinned hillbilly. And I'm like, whoa, this isn't Parvision's kid. Like, I would be taken aback. Like, sit down, you commoner. Go back to Chinatown. I was like, whoa, Jesus Christ, man. Calm. Like, this isn't Parvision's son.
He watches our VODs and sees the way we're and just hears that. Yo.
Kids say the darnest thing, brother.
Okay, it's infinitely funnier because my son just met some of my high school friends yesterday, and it was just funny.
Was it like that exactly?
Like, no, it wasn't like that. I was like telling my wife, like,
you're raising your son to be like a mega racist. That'd be so hilarious, dude.
Later down the line, like, my kid meets them in, like, wherever state they live in, and they're like, wait, isn't that Par's son? And then like, he just says some foul, and then Zen saying something like that would be insane. That whole hypothetical scenario is hilarious, but like Shanks like doing
for
that.
My kid, sure, but your kid, I don't know, man.
And extending that to the Holy Knights, right? Like, they could be seeing pictures of Roger's crew, and then they're like hearing Shanks say this. It's like the reverse of the same scenario. They're like, surely a kid who looks so happy with Roger can't be saying that the 24 years of anguish, like, that wouldn't make sense. So it's like, it could be effective. And then they're like, oh, no, that's not the same kid. That doesn't even look like. I mean, Shamrock saying that would be silly because then he'd be just like, like imagine him growing up, looking at a picture of Roger and his crew, seeing kid Shanks and be like, no, I'm not related to that guy. Like looking at your identical twin and just not seeing the resemblance and then not making because the thing is like when Shamrocks talked to Loki, he never went like yeah, his time with the Pirate King twisted him. He never said that. He just said he spent too much time in the thing, and because like that's the thing. What Shanks says here, he goes, "You cannot fathom the anguish of having the last 24 years of your life wasted," and then maybe it's that they actually don't know what the last 24 years of his life was. Like they to this day, Shamrock doesn't know that he's on the Pirate King's crew.
I mean, it's common info. I mean, Sengoku mentioned it.
Yeah, but like, when did they? Because isn't the thing Shanks and like they didn't know Buggy, right? Buggy's the more obvious one because he's literally wearing makeup and has the red nose, right? But it wasn't until Impel Down post that they were like, "Oh, you're a part of the Rogers crew." So it's probably when Shanks got notoriety as a pirate because he's not notorious now. He's not a Yonko. He's not like that. He has, but he's still
a pirate, which is crazy. Like Shanks at this point in time is a pirate with Yasopp, Ben Beckman, and Lucky Roo, and it's
4 years into his crew.
This feels like maybe this is their version of a time skip, like you know how like Luffy had Sabaody in 3D2Y. Maybe this is Shanks' version of that, where he's like, guys, we need to train. Let's all go our separate ways for like 5 years and meet back up at, I don't know, Fuchsia Village.
They fought Yami Yami Liss, Gura Gura Liss, Blackbeard, lost. And then they're like, we need to fight the most heinous person. We got to prepare. So let me go to the darkest trenches of the oceans.
That's what people are saying. People are saying, yeah, like Blackbeard put the fear of God in Shanks so hard that they literally had to like train. And it's like, that sounds absurd, but it's kind of true.
The timeline's there.
Yeah, timeline is there.
Because they're saying that the wound is that fresh, then it's the same thing of Luffy. Seeing Rayleigh with his wounds fresh, it's parallel there. Like, I can't argue that Blackbeard gave it to Shanks before his crew. At this point, it's, I would say most likely that it happened very recent to now, which would be 4 years into having his pirate crew. Like, and that's phenomenal, right? Because Blackbeard is on Whitebeard's crew, not a commander. He's not in charge of anything. He doesn't have a bounty. Doesn't even have a bounty. He doesn't get a bounty until Thriller Bark, our timeline.
Yeah.
And doesn't have Yami Yami. And he does this 4 years into the group, and a lot of people would say it was when Shanks is actually very capable, but up until like this, you couldn't strongly say it couldn't have happened before the crew thing, right? Did we see not have his eye? No, Oda gave us his back when he talked to Yasopp in the story. I'm forgetting if we have like a full thing of like when he recruited his crew and not having the scar. I don't think we had anything like that. Maybe we did, and I'm forgetting. I could be wrong, but I remember having various debates at a certain point, and like I think that now this is a very significant detail here because it's not just airless clout. No, like Garling and Shamrock vetted Shanks, and he's like strong enough to be here, right? Like Harald's here because he's also strong, right? Like. It's not that they're just giving you the Abyss mark to like spandoms, right? Like no, like they're like, nah, he's powerful, right? Like I also to the point that like I don't think Shamrock would like if Shamrock had looked at Shanks, he's the same hair, looks the same, but he was weak. I don't know if he would respect him, So that's the other angle too, that it's like Blackbeard fought a dude with a crew that was like insanely powerful, like Holy Knight level.
Somebody, it's so funny. Somebody said, "Oh, everybody has Blackbeard way too high for the Shanks thing," and he was so okay. I don't know. I don't get one guy, but it's always funny seeing these comments because it's like, "Oh, do not be surprised."
After this chapter?
Yeah, after this chapter. They said, do not be surprised if Shanks was actually fighting Whitebeard, and then Blackbeard came in afterwards and scarred Shanks. And it's like, I've never heard a more brain dead take in my life. Like, I just feel like they walked out of the lobotomy lab. Like, there's no way. Like, hey, Whitebeard, the scar that really sits with me is actually from Blackbeard, the guy I fought right after we fought. Like, in what world does that make sense?
Was that an unattended comment? Like, was that in a conversation with someone, or that was just the comment?
Just that was just the comment. No conversation beforehand. And I checked, nobody's even interacting with this guy. Like, I think people saw that comment and they're like, I'm not gonna argue with this.
Yeah, because like, especially being on Twitter, like, if it's conversational, then you know that guy is either trolling or it's like they're another fandom and they're acting like they know the series. And it's funny because I just recently told my wife about a group of people that I'm not saying that they started here, but I think they grew. Their hyperbolic time, their training arc was here, where it's like the most powerful trolls that got like success on Twitter, because Twitter's rage baiting platform. You literally get paid for just getting views, and getting views is algorithmically pushed by rage bait. And I was telling her how like people would actually, on the onset of AI, would AI certain series, like parts of the series, and then engage in discourse, acting like they read the thing. And it's super easy to tell when that happens, because then you just bring up like, wait, that didn't happen in the manga. Pull up the chapter, and then they're like, oh, and then they just drop off, and then you just realize you had like a back and forth 10 like comments back with someone who is actually just rage baiting, trolling, and using AI to do what people beforehand would like read the wiki, or like briefly read the chapter, or watch the anime like quickly 10 years ago, and they're referencing that. Now it's just people who just ask Chat, is Whitebeard stronger or weaker than Akainu? And then ChatGPT will tell them, and then it's just not real information. And then but that's crazy that they were just like, yeah, Whitebeard gave him the scar straight up. That sounds like someone who was educated by like, not even ChatGPT is probably better now. I would say that's probably like Grok. Like, that's
super unsubstantiated. Like, I was like, bro, what are you talking? Like, he literally told Whitebeard about this scar. So they're like, Shanks fought Whitebeard, and then right after that fight with Whitebeard, Blackbeard came in and fought and was like, bro, like, we don't even know if Whitebeard and Shanks fought in the past. Like, what?
If Whitebeard knew that Blackbeard didn't.
There's like so many random loops. Like, it's almost absurd. I was like, bro, no. I like I said, I didn't respond. I was just like, yo, I gotta tell Par this, man. It's like one of those stories you tell the homeboys on the side, like, yeah, you won't believe what I just saw, man. Come on. I was at the store, and my God.
Shanks goes, this scar, it aches again because of Blackbeard, and then Whitebeard hit him with a, yeah, I know. Like, just like, yeah, I was aware that he did that.
Yeah, I was actually there, Shanks. I saw him give you this scar after our bout. It's like, what?
Yeah, and then that commenter's version of event is Whitebeard's things like, what the fuck are you talking about? I gave you that scar.
Like I'm telling you, man, I'm just, some people leave me dazed and confused. Ideally, I don't think it's anybody here. But yeah, I don't think it's anybody here that had that misconception. Yeah. And generally, like, if it's a good faith comment, like they're not like trolling, I'll usually respond. But I think it was like their first comment on the channel. I was like, okay, I'm not falling for this.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy talk. His internet's gonna get yanked tomorrow.
We always have to self-moderate. There's always loopholes in the system. Those rage baiters, they keep on leveling. They've been going through some training arc.
Yeah. And then you click on the profile, it's like, base in Bangladesh. Next thing we see, we see the outfits of Saint Shanks and Shamrock here. And somebody made a really good observation. I didn't notice this myself. I saw this on Twitter, actually. It was really nice. They said that the outfits that they're wearing here, once they leave this flashback, they kind of inverse. Like they swap. Like Shamrock here has like the V-neck, and we know that after Shanks becomes a pirate and we see him more and more, he wears mainly like button shirts that are like they leave the V-neck open. And then Shamrock, so that ribbon that Shanks has, Shamrock starts wearing that. So like their outfits swap. And like if you go to like the volume cover, or at least when we see Shamrock in Elbaf, Shamrock is literally wearing Shanks's clothes. So like they literally do like a 1-to-1 switcheroo. So people are wondering like, yo, like could they potentially have switched places back and forth and nobody would notice? Like what, like could that be possible? And Shamrock just like gives himself like a fake scar.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good observation because like literally what Shanks is wearing here, it's 1-to-1 with Shamrock. Current day.
It's a little odd. Oda is very in detail when it comes to clothing. And regarding Shanks, there's no doubt in my mind that there's meaning to something. It could just be simply that it's cool. But, like, yeah, he has Shanks dressing like Shamrocks. But I was memeing on stream and I was like, is there a world where there's like the Parent Trap where they're like just
that's what I said, the
places?
Parent Trap, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, now with the clothing thing, and like I'm like, okay, Oda separated their hair. The scar could be makeup, like covering it up, but like, and then I'm like, okay, Oda's just trolling then, because then it's like, oh, Shamrock just draws on the scar. People were saying Shanks just draws on the scar, and I was like, no, okay, let's take it to more realistic. Is there a world where Shamrock draws on the scar? And I was like, no, we're not doing that because we're already doing that with Mihawk. We can't just keep doing this. But then I'm like, okay, the hair separates them. We literally have a character who just grows hair, shortens hair. Like Gunko just grew hair. So it's like, is it the wildest thing for... is there a magical spell in the deep sea contract that just like allows you to grow hair? Hell, I wouldn't put it past it. Who knows? But the fact that they actually do have swapped attire is a little interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like when, like on Wano, when Wano Shanks is there, right? Like, what if that was just Shamrock, and like Green Bull was just like memeing on us? He couldn't tell the difference, right? Like that would be kind of nuts.
The main thing would be the voices, because obviously Shamrock has a very distinct VA now, but still, like, they could genuinely swap and nobody... I mean, hell, even earlier in the chapter where King Harald is talking to Garling, in the middle panel, I thought that was Shanks. I was like, oh, is that a young Shanks? But it's not because we don't meet Shanks till later. But it's like, bro, like they literally look identical because they're twins. So it's like they could swap places, man. Like I don't know.
Here's an ultimate plot twist, because we were talking about the Mosa like misdirect. Like Oda by this chapter is making it Shirahoshi is Mosa, right? By the chapter, and the question is that a misdirect, right? And one of the stronger misdirects would be misdirecting us with another misdirect, which is that the assumption was, and we talked about this, the moment we got the marks, right? Like prior to that, I was saying like, oh, like that disease that Bonnie had, maybe Shanks had it and he just had that arm lopped off. Like, would that solve it? Right? You couldn't do that with Bonnie because it was on her face. You can just lop off her head. But if it was on his arm, gets it cut off and boom. But then we got the abyss marks. Then I was like, oh, it's probably that he had it on his left arm, and that was the moment he decided he's not with them anymore, so he gets that arm chopped off, right? And then it's all the regen questions or whatever. What if the misdirect is it's not on his left arm? He has the band there, but on his like it's tattooed on his right arm, and so Oda's misdirecting us, making us think that it was on his left arm, and that's what he's got chopped off on. And the reason why it would be significant is then him and Shamrock are actually just perpetually swapping places because the mark's actually just on that side. And then they would explain how Shanks' crew doesn't just like, hey, where did Shanks go? It's like, Shamrock,
surely surely the crew knows, right?
Ben Beck, like, here's my issue, right? The moment people entertain that, I was like, guys, Yasop can see through dimensions. Like, we can't put this, we can't have anything go through his like all-seeing eye. Like Oda literally allowed, the one thing that Oda puts a tamper on are powers when it comes to filler content. And Film Red Oda literally went through and gave us the canon stuff regarding Shanks's crew. And all of those things are still things that we haven't seen in the actual canon stuff. And one of those powers that he gave the director allowance to do is that Yasop unilaterally just simply can see into another dimension. Makes no sense, but sure, let's do that, right? And so I can't fathom a world where Yasop does not know. He should be like you know how Sanji wants to see like X-ray vision. Like I feel like Yasop, like that's a nice tattoo you got on there, Shanks. Like he comes back and is like, huh. So it worked out, and Shanks like, God damn, bro! Like stop looking. Yeah, like that's how all-seeing Yasop needs to be, where it makes no sense that Ben Beckman do not know.
How about this? What if there's a third brother and that brother pretends to be Shanks, while this Shanks goes up to the Holy Land, and then Shanks and Shamrock sometimes switch places, but then we have Stabs, the iconic third brother, just pretending to be the pirate captain red hair.
It's funny, I did say something like that. I forget what I said on stream, but I was just like, bro, what if like there was a third kid and we just lost them on God Family?
Ooh, like or what if there's okay, how about this? Let's add a fourth one. And the fourth one gave Luffy the straw hat, while the third one was sailing with the red hair crew, and then the second one, Shanks, is up here with the first one, Shamrock.
Yeah,
and then the fifth one actually stopped Kaido from going to Marineford.
Yeah, and one of them was born with an extra chromosome, and that's Kid.
Oh, no, how about this? For every bar there is in the world, a Fagarland spawns.
Every Makino, every time there's a Makino, there's a Shanks. Like,
yeah.
What if we find
like Nurse Jenny?
That's not the Fuchsia Village Shanks was Shamrock. That would be a problem, right?
Yeah, you come to return the straw hat, huh, Luffy? Just, I don't know. It'd be so weird.
Imagine, because Shanks is like, I can't see Luffy yet, right? And it's like, Luffy meets them, and he walks over to Shamrock instead of Shanks, because he knows the person from chapter 1, and he walks over, hey, Shanks! And he's just like, and he walks over to Shamrock. I think I would need to be institutionalized. Like, I would need to be admitted for schizophrenia. I would not believe that. If Oda has Luffy walk up to Shamrock and be like, hi, Shanks, I would lose it, right? Because that's the thing. When Shanks shows up to Marineford, he's in a coma. Imagine he's like, that's not Shanks. Who is that guy? You know, imagine that's what happens. And then on Wano, he goes, I saw a familiar face. He didn't say, like, that's Shanks. He doesn't necessarily know, because everyone's like, that was an insane Kankazaki. Luffy thinks he knows who it is because he said, I saw a familiar face. If that was, admit me, guys. Admit me. The moment, if Luffy walks over to Shamrock and goes, hi, Shanks. Maybe that, oh my God.
And then plot twist, Shamrock says, it's been a while, Luffy.
Bro, the schizophrenic theorists they're gonna go feral, because it's like, on Elbaf, why would you need to eject Shamrock? And it's like, if Luffy interacted with him, because that's the oddest thing to do, to bring him there just to eject him. And it's because Luffy would have been like, hey, Shanks, that's not the twin. Guys, that's not Shanks' little brother, that's just Shanks. And they're like, no, Luffy, that's not Shanks.
Oh, speaking of this, sorry, I got sidetracked, but we forgot to mention the 13 people with the mark.
Oh,
are we both under the assumption that it's the God Knights plus the 5 Gorosei?
That's what I thought.
Okay. Because we saw
5 Gorosei is deep sea.
Yeah.
And then the other 8 is deep sea.
The deep sea. Okay. That's what I was under the assumption of too. Okay. Yeah, and then probably like deep sea is where you don't age. But we do know that like Gunko's like a weird like exception because she hasn't aged at all.
Yeah.
In all these years, but okay. Next thing's next. Shanks. Him and Shamrock seem to have like identical blades in this panel, which we've talked about before. Shamrock able to summon a Cerberus. Do you think Shanks has the ability to summon something out of his sword? Like it's a Garland sword family thing?
Their swords are not by any means, brother.
They're the one so is identical.
Hilt. The other one has a circular hilt. One is rectangular.
But you could tell, like, okay, if I told you, Par, that
not close.
They came from the same family.
You would need to be institutionalized. Like,
nah,
this is
dude, it's
like,
a thing.
One is not. They're from different nations, brother. Like one is from European, and the other one is Chinese. Like this is not the same country.
Whoa, that's racist.
Well, I just went because the katanas don't have.
How about this?
So I'm like, maybe China had
the sword hilt. The shape of it changes based on the monster inside.
Okay, I'm for that. That's cool.
Like when you look at Shamrock's blade, it kind of screams Cerberus, doesn't it?
What does the scream sound like?
I mean, I'm not gonna do it here. That'd be embarrassing.
I'm not gonna... everyone just thinks we signed off and we start barking at each other.
Yeah. My God. Yeah, and then Shanks's blade. I think it screams griffin noises.
Rawr.
No, it'd be like caw. Be something like that.
Griffin. It's a griffin.
I don't know what noises Griffin makes, brother. I've never seen one in real life.
It's roar.
Yeah, but it's like part bird eagle thing, so.
The wings, but not the. And it's not like we don't know what the griffin looks like. Oda put the griffin in.
No, the griffin has an eagle face.
Yeah, but Oda's griffin doesn't. He put it or at least the anime and the movie made it not bird like. It just had the wings. It didn't have the beak.
It had the beak.
No, really? I don't remember the beak. Huh.
Yeah. So what, you thought it had a lion face?
Yeah, I thought it was lion and then just wings. Like a griffin.
I think you're thinking of Film Red. I think you're thinking of Film Red because it's a lion and then an eagle and then they mix together into the griffin. You might be thinking of them individually. But even in the anime, when Shanks fights Kid, it does take the form of like an actual like eagle griffin. Because in mythology, a griffin is what, like head of an eagle, body of a lion.
I mean, yeah, but it's like there's not really like a lineage factor we go off of, right? So like a lot of people do griffin with like eagle wings and then lion.
I've never seen a griffin with a lion head.
Really? I feel like that's the like.
No, look it up.
Let's see. Griffin.
I feel like a majority. Okay, I see a few. But a majority of them are actual. Like even when I typed in griffin with a lion head, like 50% of the images are still eagle heads.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think it's the eagle head definitely cooler.
Yeah. Huh.
It cacaws. You think that Shanks's hilt is screaming cacaw? Imagine that's what the swords are doing, right? Like there's just like, dude.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Google
the sword,
AI.
Do you think that they're
fucking Google AI saying a griffin is. Wait. A griffin typically has the head of an eagle and a body of a lion, but there are alternative depictions where the head is a lion and the body of a bird, but this is less common. But it's still a valid interpretation of a griffin's description.
Yeah, that's
so you are valid, Par. You are valid.
What we have, I don't know if it's like set in stone, but
never let anybody tell you aren't valid.
I feel seen by Gemini, seen. Right? That's a Google AI.
Yeah, and I am Gemini. That's my it's my sign. So you're seen by two Geminis, the twins. So we go down.
Are they Geminis?
Who?
Shanks and Shamrock? Yeah, wait.
What's Shanks' birthday? Shanks' birthday, One Piece. Shanks is not a Gemini. No.
Damn.
Is
that Pisces?
I don't know.
Oh, that's Pisces. Right? Pisces is Pisces, also Pisces is like bipolar, right? Like it's like that. It's not twins like Gemini, but Pisces has the fish. The yin yang thing, right?
the weaknesses of a Pisces is struggle with vagueness, disorganization, and they have a tendency to avoid conflict.
Yo, brought to you by AI.
Yeah.
Yo.
But it's nice because the AI generally sources where they get it from. So you actually got this from cozymom.com.
Mihawk is also March 9th? What?
Oh.
Frankie as well.
Shanks, Frankie, and Mihawk have the same birthday.
Shamrock. Don't forget the twin. He was
Who's
born
that?
in the same.
Oh, yeah. Shamrock. What if Shamrock is born on a different day?
Yo.
That'd be so funny.
Mihawk, imagine Mihawk is the third brother. Like, he just doesn't look like them. Somehow the mom had both identical and fraternal twin triplets. Like, that'd be... Obviously, Mihawk is older, right?
We know that Garling is a funny guy. What if he laid seed all on the same day? Like, there's a next door neighbor, and it just went there and just gave, like, dropped the seed, and Mihawk was born 9 months later.
Hey, he might have, like, why would Garling stop at one house, right?
Yeah, exactly. Celestial Dragon tribute for the win.
He probably, the thing is, like, do they despise the Davy so much that he wouldn't just, like, try? Like, if they had blue hair, do you think that he probably tried, right? Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know why he wouldn't.
Behind closed door. Yeah. How tall is Shanks?
I think Shanks is like 1 centimeter taller than Mihawk.
Yeah, they're shorter.
They have like the whole like like a lot of duos usually have that where like one is slightly taller than the other. Like King, Queen, Zoro, Sanji, Mihawk, Shanks.
Yeah, no, I'm wondering that because isn't Garling huge?
I don't know. I don't know if we've ever seen Garling side by side with anybody. We've seen him sitting down, but he's generally just sitting down.
I think like what I'm thinking about is when he's walking into when he gets inducted into the Gorosei, we have the comparison there. Oh, I feel like he was big. Because the Gorosei in general are tall.
He looks more rotund in that image, but I don't know about like big.
Yeah.
So we are now in the final stretch of this chapter. Ida is finally dying. We were looking forward to this. We weren't big fans of Ida. We were always Queen Estrid stans, and, I think our patience is paying off. We see that the doctors are saying, hey, let's call over King Harald, and she's like, no, he's got a lot on his plate. Doesn't really matter because they call him anyways, but it would be really cool. Like, imagine, like, the world government comes by to save Ida. Like, genuinely, Saint Saturn could show up next chapter and help Ida. Like, that would do so much good for his reputation. Like, imagine Saint Saturn saying, I'm a man of science, King Harald. I will save your wife.
Yeah, that is the thing, right? The thing is, it's like, why isn't Harald here? Because they did say, here's a long-range Denden Mushi. We'll call you when you need you. Right, so like at any point before a Hiredin decides like I need to go abroad, did Harald because I get like he left and said I won't be back for a while. He gets put into slavery, which somehow constitutes becoming a holy knight, and then he gets the okay. He gets here's a long range Denden Mushi. We'll call you when we need you. You're good. Right, so then that means that he never came back, right? No, but we saw him he came back to Saul, right? It's just at the time when she's sick, right? Because like it's not like Kuma's situation where Kuma's like on the other end of it and he needs the medicine because like from them and he's sacrificing for it. He's now in the good graces of them. He got to Shangri-La, bro.
No, dude, like genuinely, he could ask Saturn, and Saturn would probably come by and be like, "Oh yeah, sure, why not? You owe me one, Harald."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like dead ass. Like the government could actually send Vegapunk here because it's like we said, like it's like we said, like Harald actually is in their good graces. Like they get along with him. Is he a pawn? Yeah. but they want to keep him happy. I mean, they want Elbaf in the world government, more or less. Harald is about to... Harald literally has a connection with God.
Yeah. And the other reality is that Vegapunk was here. Like, the
Vegapunk was here.
That after Saul comes here, while he's still in bandages, Vegapunk shows up. So that would mean that after Ohara, which Saul like seemingly comes back with the new giant pirates, gets the books, they come back, they do the school stuff. So like, oh yeah, when Hirunden goes out, is Saul on that ship? Because that could make a lot of sense, to be honest. But like, no, yeah, it doesn't. That means that there's a separate voyage where Saul goes with them, gets the book very soon after. It's like a year after Ohara, right? Or like 2 years after.
Yeah, I mean, that should have already happened, though.
Yeah, that should have happened. So like, Vegapunk's already
because Saul is out of his bandages.
Yeah, Vegapunk's already in there's no degree of there shouldn't be a degree of separation between Vegapunk and Harald, considering he has the Saturn connection.
Like, we could even like we don't even have to do like the Saturn connection world government thing. We could literally just be like, hey, Vegapunk, we let you come and look at the books. Like, you owe us one. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm coming. Fine.
Yeah. And then like Kuma went to every doctor, and Dragon's like, hey, time to look on the other side of the aisle, brother. Let's look at the world government. And he went there, and he unironically had to converse with Saturn. Harold's been taught, get on the Denden Mushi. What was the point? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that like the fact that Loki, the theory is, or no, to 70% of people, it's confirmed that Shirahoshi has direct conversations with Loki. Meanwhile, Harald, who Rocks instigated a direct conversation with Harald by Loki being injured, bringing Harald back. That can't be done for some reason with Ida. Like, yeah, that's a very... that you have to convince me that Harald hates Like, I know you wouldn't have to convince me that Harald just hates Elbaf.
He's just busy, man. He's expanding Elbaf's reach. I mean, like I said, they're gonna call him. I think he'll show up next chapter, and he does come home pretty often. I mean, they're like, hey, whenever he shows up, he goes straight to the elders and begs them to allow you two to legally marry. And I can't believe the elders are still being brought up. I feel like they will end up being shown soon.
We need to kill them.
I don't know.
That's my biggest gripe.
It depends.
What does it depend? They need to die. They're so annoying.
What if one of them ends up being Barbell?
Yes, the elders of Elbaf are like a literal toe. He looks like a toe. Barbell would be their big toe. It would be the size of Loki's big toe. That is the elder. And we've seen the shape of the elders. They're not barbell shaped.
Like, what if it's the Bell family, like Barbell, Bin Bell, Bing Bell, Bon Bell? It's like a Chinese family.
I just want the elders to be dead. I just hate that every
single time. Do you think we'll see them?
Why? Like, it's like, why this irrational decision being made? Who's doing it? The elders.
We've seen them silhouetted like 2 or 3 times. Like, they are around.
They might as well be Emu.
We gotta see them, man.
They're the Neuronas. They have to be. Like,
I have no clue what's going on with the elders, and they look very like what was it, like 40 years ago? They looked very sickly. They're still around. Like, their silhouettes are really skinny.
Sickly.
What's
they might as well be from this village.
What if the elders end up being like I feel like it was a ploy, because they weren't like really conjoined. But it could be like the judge from Enies Lobby, where it's like 3 heads out of one body. What if the elders are like that, and that's why we've never like really seen them? It's like 4 heads conjoined into one body.
So it's not enough to have twin fake out triplets. We need to have Siamese twins again. Bring back the Siamese triplets.
Oh, how about this? What if the elders are all like Voldemort's, where they have like a head on the back of their head, like a face on the back of their head, and they all have different personalities?
Yeah. They're like, yeah, Harald, you can marry Ida, and then they turn, no, you can't. She can't be in the castle.
And then because there's 4 of them, there's like 8 people technically. Like yes, no, yes, no.
The council.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think that's a popular theory that's popping up.
Your wife is just looking at you. Is this the day? Did Sai lose his mind?
No, everybody's talking about this theory.
That
so
look over is so
will
funny.
we see the elders here in Elbaf current day or in the past first?
The thing is, current
never.
day we haven't. You might be able to convince me that those elders are from the Alcohol Village because their decision making is drunk. They look sickly.
I thought you were gonna say they all have fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah, that too. Add everything. Alcohol causes a lot of problems. And look at these guys. You said even from silhouettes, you can tell that those guys look sickly. These are the only sickly giants I've seen on Elbaf. These guys from it almost makes you wonder where Astrid came from.
Oh my god.
Because if she's from this village, she didn't drink. I think she's the only one who didn't drink. That's probably what it is.
Okay, how about this? What if the Elbaf elders, the reason why they have so much sway isn't because they're just elders and they're old and they have the chutzpah? What if they're actually just very powerful? Like the strongest giants in Elbaf's history. And King Harald can't even fight them.
Didn't they do this stipulation where King Harald is the strongest king in Elbaf history?
Yeah, King Harald is the strongest king, but he's not the strongest giant
in history. And we don't know. Oh, imagine this. Dory and Broggy, they're not walking to Yorul. And that's why Yorul's like, I don't need to run. And then the 4 elders come in.
Oh,
and then
what if
Dory and Broggy walk up to them?
How about this? This is another popular theory going around the town right now. But what if Yarul tears off his shirt and then 4 necks and heads pop out of his stomach? And that is where the elders actually live. They're inside of Yarul.
I'm more inclined to believe that the Yeti Cool
like
brothers
Skibbity Toilets.
Honestly, the silhouettes could be the Yeti Cool. The Yeti Cool brothers were skinny. So maybe the Yeti Cool brothers were given a level of intelligence that is unbelievable compared to the giants on Elbaf. When we got, again, as a reminder, the Yeti Cool brothers, as introduced, world-renowned assassins that were kind of the Straw Hats weren't in their best situation, but they were impressive. And they were 25, only 4 years older than Colin. The guy who outed his own dad and had him shanked 3 times by the very assailant that had him. I don't think the Yeti Cool brothers are that dumb. So maybe that intellect is the foreshadow we needed. That how did 25-year-old giants, make it to this level? Well, if you have 400-year-old versions of them, they would be the elders of Elbaf. And you gotta imagine, if they're the elders, they probably, they were probably in that first world where it was, super snowy. They were the OGs. They were the OGs of Elbaf, Could be the case. And the thing is, up at the top, it's probably cold too. We've never seen the Sun Realm, but I'd imagine it's kind of cold up there.
What if the Elbaf elders... Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but I think this could be a genuine theory. What if the Elbaf elders weren't even giants per se? What if they were actually robots from the Void Century, or maybe from a long time ago?
How consistent have their silhouettes been? Because if they were,
we've only seen them twice.
And what was the time difference between the two? One was
I think those are around the same time. Yeah, it was in the same chapter.
Was it in the same chapter?
I think it was the same chapter.
I think there's 2.
I think.
Let's see. Elbaf. Oh wait, no, wrong page. Elbaf.
But yeah, what if these guys are robots? Kind of like the robot we saw that was turned into a building from 3,000 years ago or something. What if they're like that? but from the Void Century. And these guys just survived, and that's why their opinions really matter. It's like, oh, they're like 900 years old or 1,000 years old. Oh my god.
I wouldn't be mad at that. And the thing is, like, Biblio's a thing, right? Like, Biblio's another one of those, like, ancient sentient things that's actually there and is being perturbed.
I'm looking at it right now. It is the same chapter.
It is the same chapter?
Yeah, okay. Same chapter, same timeline too. It is chapter 1153. We see them 81 years ago. And then in the very next page, we see Estrid and we see them again. And it's pretty much the same silhouette.
Okay. Wait, but 81 years ago, and then we see them, Oda put a time skip in between the two silhouettes? No, okay.
No time skip. Because it's the very next page, and it's just Harald meeting Estrid.
Watch them just be the Galila.
That'd be crazy. I mean, the thing is, if you look at the giant elders, like, they look very sharp, rectangular. Like, I mean, I know some of it's the beard, and it could be armor, but they are very boxy.
Yeah.
Like, they could be like the stereotypical robots you would think of back in like the early 2000s when, like, oh, robots are going to take over the world. And it's like just giant blocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll put it up
so people can see it too.
But either way, elders aside, we see that Loki is bringing this foreigner, Mato, some meat to cook up for Ida. The doctor ends up calling Harald, and then Hirunden leaves to go look for a doctor. Do you believe that we're going to see a doctor we've seen before? People are saying Dr. Kureha. I like that a lot. I think Dr. Kureha would be a really cool fit because she would know a little bit about the Celestial Dragons possibly, so she could talk to Harald. I think that'd be very valuable. We need Dr. Kureha Love at some point because she was the first person who told us about the Will of D. But besides the point, we go on and we see that Alcohol Village actually were the ones that poisoned Ida. I don't know how they slipped it to her. Maybe she just, like, was drinking coffee and she just accidentally took a sip of it.
Yeah.
But either way, we see that Loki destroys the village, sets it on fire, and he calls Ida his mom. And he remembers the day he was born, by the way, which is pretty crazy. But it kind of goes back to, like, the Blackbeard thing. Because I said, like, Blackbeard might know God Valley because he was there, and he was 2 years old. And people are like, Sai, why would a 2-year-old baby know anything? It's like, bro, it's One Piece, man. Don't ask me, man. Like, shit happens.
Goes to next chapter. Loki demonstrates the exact impossibility.
Yeah, I feel so vindicated. Because a lot of people were... This isn't like a one-guy thing. Multiple people were like, oh, Sai, he doesn't remember God Valley. And I say, bro, his eyes are wide open as hell. He's 2 years old, which I know is crazy for, like, real life, but this One Piece, man. And here we go. Loki remembers the day he was born and the reason his mom threw him to the underworld. Like, he understood the reasoning even. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like to that point, right? Like, isn't Blackbeard on Amazon Lily when he sees the Lunarian and he sees black wings, white hair? Isn't that a pretty good reference to maybe he's thinking back to when he saw Rox, who we know has white hair and had black wings? And yeah, maybe he was a kid and didn't remember it perfectly, but it is fiction, so Oda could just have that be the case. And he would be looking at a very similar thing to the boogeyman of his childhood that like basically destroyed, like kicked him out of his home, like attacked his mom. And that's what he's seeing in that Lunarian, that he knows this Lunarian, but like, you got to imagine if when did he first get exposed to that, right? Because that's very important. That is a question with like Kaido, Whitebeard. They somehow knew about that, but like if King is the only one and Kaido sees him at Punk Hazard, it's like, wait, you're Lunarian, right? Where did Kaido learn about that? And is it from Rox? But also the question mark being like, we saw the Rox crew interact with Rox, and they were just like, I don't know what's happening here. So like the white hair or the black wings, that didn't do anything for what we saw at God Valley for those characters. So where does this come into play? And for Whitebeard or Blackbeard, that could make sense. When he's a kid, he sees a monster coming at him, white hair, black wings. He might not see his dad there. He might just see a monster. And from then, when he's a kid, he's looking after black wings, white hair, monsters, and he learns about Lunarians that way. It's more reasonable that Kaido and Big Mom and all those characters find out in their adulthood, then, you know, where does Blackbeard figure that out? Especially if he's not doing anything on Whitebeard's crew, right? Marco was the one who brought up some of the stuff about the Lunarians, but he didn't Marco didn't bring up a description, right? Because that would have been the more direct part of that conversation. He was like, are you the gods from they were living up there, you know? And he didn't say like the white hair, black wings per se, which would have been really funny if that was what Whitebeard said and he saw rocks and he's like, was rocks Lunarian? Like that would have been an interesting angle. But yeah, so like people suspend their belief too much, and like when critical, it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to think about Blackbeard having that level. Dude doesn't sleep, guys. Like we're apparently supposed to believe that he doesn't get sleep. Is that realistic, guys? Like I don't know how many people you know that live to the old age that Blackbeard's at that doesn't sleep at night. They usually die within like 14 days. Like so, you know, I don't think it's that crazy, and clearly Oda doesn't think it's that crazy either.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this ending part of the chapter, did it move you?
Oh yeah, I mean,
you seem like the type of guy that'd get moved by this.
Yeah, I mean, here's my so this is the frame of reference. Chapter title is Ida's son. I go through the entire goddamn chapter, and there's no. I forgot the title. Then we go back, and I hit. Where is it? She's sick, and I'm like, Ida's son. Oh no. And Loki shows up first. And then I'm like, bro, how much damage is Oda gonna do to Hiruden? Because now Loki's showing up.
Oh wait, was Hiruden in the chapter?
That was the thing. I was like, if Hiruden is not Ida's son in mentionable thing, he shows up next. He's in the ship going away. But for me, I'm scrolling and I'm seeing Loki first. I'm like, Oda's doing it. He's hurting Hiruden again. When Oda said Ida's son, he's meaning Loki. And then I see Hiruden. I'm like, okay, Hiruden's in the chapter. Find out he's leaving. And then she says, Loki's still my cute little son. And like I was just like, no, Hiruden, not like this. But then also like the Loki situation, because it's like. Dude, how much trauma can one side? I know my fair share of traumatic sides of the family, but there's no stoppage point for this. His mom threw him off a cliff. His uncle abused his ass. We don't know how deep that went. And then he goes over. He doesn't even think. He's not even here because he's suspicious that they're doing that. They self-report. And
that's so funny. Loki kind of betrayed that trust, huh?
Yeah, they're like, "Yo, you're agreeing with us.
You're gonna love this, Loki. We're killing your mom."
And to me, this is probably the most like Loki. This is one of the most emotional things I think that Oda did. Because when Oda shows in depth, like extreme emotion, he likes to draw the face. And he's gone on record saying that sometimes when he draws these faces, like he did this with Usopp, he cries himself because that's how painful some of the things are. And so he's hiding Loki's face. Loki's face wouldn't be that hard. His face is bandaged. But what's crazy about this is this might actually be like the first on-screen direct murder, hand on throat, cracking. People are like, Par, he didn't die. I'm like, I don't think Loki's reviving him in this scenario. I don't think you hear crack, and you think that guy lived through that. Like,
yeah, like Loki stops people. Next chapter, he resuscitates him, gives him mouth to mouth. Yeah. You stay alive, old man.
Like, we've seen dead, yes, but like, and the people in the foreground, I think are dead, but it's a different thing for Loki to have.
I saw
and
one
like,
guy.
That's nuts.
One guy was like, "Yo, Loki's in the wrong. He should have put these guys on trial." In the world of One Piece, brother.
No, they admitted to it.
Oh my god.
The thing is,
funny.
like,
should have taken these guys to court.
The other people are innocent, right? Because this guy says he did it, he poisoned it, he slipped it, right? So
I don't
technically, he
know.
needs
This
a death
whole
sentence.
clan is trash.
Yeah, but so that's the
Doing the world a
difference.
favor.
Loki's mom, day one, bro. It's not even day two, not day three, day one up, bro. This village was never on his side. Like, this village is also like this village is also the reason why Ida couldn't be in the castle too, because their nominee for Harald's wife pushed her out and replaced her. And Loki is very pro Ida, right? Like that's the thing. It's like they're like, what are you guys talking about? Like Ida's great. Like that's what he's trying to say. And then they were just like, no, we poisoned her. And they're like, you like that, right, Loki? I'm like, bro,
That's
if there's
so
any
funny,
person
dude.
who could see red right now, it'd be Loki, and he can't even see. Like, I need to see his eyes. That's what I wanted. I low-key wanted, and I don't care how overdone this is. I needed the Kakashi Gojo moment where Loki's just like Sharingan and just wipes out the village with like some like. And then I brought it up. I was like, bro, Loki's Itachi here. He straight up went back to his home, murked everybody. Oda might as well give him the Mangekyo right now. He might as well just elevate his eye prowess right here. Give him the Uchiha tablet too. Why not?
Yeah, maybe we'll see that his eyes change colors or something too.
Yeah, and there is a downside because if Oda did do the eye thing, we could have gotten a panel of someone from this village recognizing the eyes, right? Because if it's like Estrid related, Harald related, Ancient Giant related, maybe from this village they have their own specific thing. They see Loki's eyes, you're the chosen something, and then Loki just snaps their neck, something like that.
Yeah.
That would have been nuts.
One thing I've been seeing people saying is that this goes back to the rumors of Loki about how he set towns on fire and he's like a maniac.
Yeah.
I kind of agree, kind of don't. Like, yeah, this is one instance where Loki set a town on fire and it, obviously deserved it.
We've seen younger too.
Yeah, we've seen, I was about to say, like, I think people forget younger Loki, where he literally lets animals loose and he beats up families and sets the town on fire. Like, this isn't like the first time he's done this, guys. Like, yeah, sure, you could say that, like, oh, this one was justified, but he's done this before for no reason.
I mean, to a certain extent, I'm not gonna be we don't have to get the psychology of it, but the previous instances were kind of justified considering he was just being abused by the government, like sanctioned like he had to murder his uncle.
Well, okay, yeah, it's not like he's attacking his uncle though. He's literally fighting families, bro.
Yeah, but he's also like 9 years old.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not gonna look at this and be like, oh wow, Loki's justified in burning down this town because he got abused.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's a different justification. That's why we wouldn't try him as he would be tried as an adult here, try as a kid there, and then tried as a kid. They'd be like, yo, we were paying
on the damages.
him to get abused.
I don't know, man. If he burned down my house, I'd say, yo, execute this kid, man. Get him out of here.
Yeah, but he's also royal though. Yeah, remember that.
And so that's why I wouldn't win.
How much we bend over for Loki. Yeah, if a celestial dragon burned down your house, you'd be like, "Thank you, you're the greatest."
So that's different.
Yeah,
but for the same standing, it's like, nah,
Loki's the ancient giant, the
put him in the house
of Elbaf, the royal. Don't worry, guys. Sai's cooking up the greatest. Ange is the celestial dragon traitor.
It's still gonna happen. You guys are doubting it now.
Sister.
Just wait until Ange turns out to be that person.
Loki's younger sister,
or Mosa, or Angerboda. She could be Dr. Kareha's
shaggy. Have you seen
sister.
them legs? Why do you think Oda's been hiding her legs? She showed us every woman's legs on Elbaf except for Ange.
I'm not gonna lie, if Ange ends up being like actually that important, I would lose my shit. I don't even know if I'd believe it. I feel like Kinemon in that panel where he's like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Yeah, you need to have AI make your face into the Kinemon panel and then post as a thumbnail.
Yeah.
And it's actually evil.
I'm looking at the last panel of Ange we got. She's just crying as the library burns down. That's so funny, dude.
Yo, yeah, and crying, like, is her hands in a thing, and we just see, like, on the other side, she has a smirk, right? That'd be nuts. She's just
Yeah.
like, I hated these
I
libraries.
I hate these books. I'm crying because finally I'm free.
Yeah, that'll tell those O'Harans from teaching people.
I guess that's one way to look at it. Yeah, Ange is crying because she wants to burn down the library.
Or maybe, because the thing
Wow.
is, maybe she thinks that the library is tainted. Because in this panel, they don't have the books yet.
And what's
But once
interesting,
the O'Haran books come in, now she wants to burn it down.
I mean, Ange, she was the one who set her on fire initially because Killingham said, hey, you burn it down. And then after that, he says, okay, good job. That should be enough. I'll get the rest. They're like partners in crime. I don't know. You're going to bring back the Ange's evil theories.
Oh, me. Guys, I'm trying
I
to help
think
you
you're
out, guys.
revitalizing it, Par.
In the comment section, let me know which psychosis was better. The barbell psychosis or the Ange's evil celestial dragon mastermind of Elbaf and Graboda monster, the mother of monsters theory psychosis. Which one would you prefer, guys?
Yeah, if one had to be true, just let us know. Which one would you want?
Yeah.
Between Barbell and Ange, I think my stocks are in some pretty good places. but okay. But between Skibbity, Toilet, Elbaf Elders, Barbell, and Ange, which one of my three theories are you putting your bets on?
Wait, the Skibbity Toilet one can include the Yorul stomach?
No, not necessarily. It could be more like they're just conjoined or robots or something.
Yeah.
Conjoined robots.
Know, guys. Which one do you think Tekken would put his stocks in?
Yeah. If we held a gun to your head and you had to pick one, which one would you pick? It's like asking if they want to eat poop or shit. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we throw in that like Shanks and Shamrock are swapping places? Is that silly?
I don't think it's.
Is it believable?
I don't believe they are, but a lot of people believe it, and I think that's fair. Like, you could fake.
That's where I'm mad at that. I'm mad that it's not that silly. You know what I mean? It's silly.
It's silly, but it's not that silly.
Yeah, like I'm like, wait, if like, but I would also, that's again, I would institutionalize me if Shamrock's is chapter 1 Shanks. If that's what we're gonna get, I don't know if I want that. Like, the reality is maybe they were both there. The Shanks that was there in chapter 1 with Luffy was Shanks. The one that beat Higuma was Shamrock's. That'd be nuts.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no. Shanks is like, hey, Shamrock, switch places with me. This is Higuma we're fighting.
No, I'm no, guys. I'm not any better than Sai. I think Sai's. You guys know that Sai's more sane than I am, because like I'm actually drinking my own like piss with this one. This is fucking nuts. There's always been a line that always weirded me out, but it was when Higuma does the smoke screen thing, right? Higuma does the smoke screen thing. Where is it? Oh yeah, poof! The smoke bomb. Come here, kid. Hey, let's go, Luffy. And then Shanks goes, "Oh no, I let him escape. We gotta save him, Luffy." And like, but that Shanks should have insane observation haki. And now it's confirmed because this is after Holy Knight's Shanks. So that definitely has. So you didn't lose him. And then Lucky Rue's like, "Calm down, Captain. We'll all go out and look for him. We'll find him." And then Ben Beckman just looks at him and goes, Captain? ... It's just so weird. Where is it? All right, let me put it on the big screen. It's always just been like, huh? Like, is Shanks trolling here? And does the crew think he's trolling? And then why is Ben Beckman just, Captain? And then like the reality being that like Shamrocks wanted to go and experiment in the lower world, and this is his thing. And he's like, guys, I lost the kid. And then, oh my god! And then Shanks is the one who's at sea, who's like, fuck, Shamrocks couldn't pull the shit off. And then Shanks did lose his arm, and the one who gives him the hat is Shanks. But it would be crazy if the Higuma part that beforehand was Shamrock. It's not Listen, guys, that's insane. Absolutely insane. I would never put that in a video. No, I would never.
I would never actually talk about this outside of the podcast.
I'd never put my name on this one. But like, I won't be surprised if I see unironically AI slop shorts, and that somehow leaks into genuine people thinking that this is a real scenario, because I don't know if I can ever get to a part where I'm like, yeah, guys, Shamrocks is in this chapter. Even if Oda says it's like canon, I don't know if I could accept that. This just has to be like, because then the live action's lying to me too. They only casted the one guy. Maybe if we watch back the live action, there's like a moment where the Shanks that we see is like a little different, and it's like, oh, that's Shamrock's Shanks, not really Shanks. That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts. Imagine we go back in live action credits and we just see Shamrock in the credits at the very end.
God. Just, playing a Shamrock, actually. Oh.
That'd be fucking nuts.
Well, with that amazing theory coming to fruition, let us know what you guys think about this week's podcast and chapter down below. We will catch you guys next week because 1168 is on the horizon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. You know where to check out Par Vision. We will catch you guys next time. Par out.
Next time. Par out.